following is a production of Lift Hill Media. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the original Theme Park Podcast. Theme Park Podcast. This is your announcer, Neil Patrick Harris. And now, podcasting from our glass enclosed studios in Washington, D.C., this is CoasterRadio.com. Here are your hosts, my close personal friends, Mike Collins.
Oh, no, he did not on my show.
Hey, Marge! How do you work this damn M3D? Nothing's blinking or beeping. Is it recording? I wish I still had my Edison phonograph cylinder. That worked like a dream. Hello? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Marge, before I start this thing, bring me my Preparation H. My anal fissures are burning worse than Hades, and I'm not talking about Mount Olympus. This is Saul, and I'm a bit concerned. I heard that Mike Collins is gonna be a guest on your Nice Ride This One podcast. I'm talking to you to voice my concern about him being a bad influence on you three nice boys. The only segment I heard from my great-granddaughter was that evil Mike Collins character who is spewing such filth on your airways. Who talks like that? I've heard from reliable sources that you three nice boys go to church every week, love your mothers, and talk about Disney rides. So please, stay away from that evil man. He'll bring you to ruin, right, Marge? Saul out! Did it work? Is it on or off? And do I smell bad? What do you think?
Hello? Is this Coaster Radio? Mike, are you there? Mike, pick up the phone. This is Jimmy from Georgia. That's Jimmy with a G. I went to the Coaster Radio meetup at Carowinds. At the beginning of the night, you invited me back to your room. You gave me some ERT on Little Prince Mike Collins. The next morning, you were gone. You had written your phone number on a book map of Busch Gardens and left it on your pillow. I keep calling and calling, but you never answer or call me. I heard you were going to be on Ride This One. They claim to be the gayest theme park podcast. So let's look at the hosts of Coaster Radio. Mike, EB, Mario, Greg, Flavor, Hagrid, and Seababe. All dudes. And you even got NCH to do the intro for Coaster Radio. It doesn't get any gayer than that. Anyway, love the show. Bye. Call me.
Hey guys, Valentine here calling you with a few thoughts about today's episode. I know EB is the favorite of Coaster fucking Radio, but Mike, your sultry tones, that dad bod, and that Republican haircut are the only reason I follow that shitty podcast. I was looking forward to listening this week, but you suck dick. And unfortunately, it wasn't mine. Honestly, why would you come on the show? Didn't you know what Slater was capable of? Thank God I'm a fag, or I wouldn't have made it through it. Next time, leave the dick sucking to us queens.
Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? God damn it. What? Oh, it's recording? Oh, good. Oh, hello. This is a message from Michael Collins. Michael, this is Mr. Shapiro, the not-so-proud papa of Mark Shapiro. And I did ask you something. Why the hell would you go on this godforsaken show? Those boys, the Goliath and the Slater. What's with the other one? What, Goy Boy? Ah, fair. Anyway, they're all no good nudnik schlockjocks who spend the whole damn show schmoozing about what they want to do with their schwanzes while riding the roller coasters. I tell you, Michael Collins, why would you do such a thing? You already have such a lovely show with that boy chick EB. I like the EB. He's such a mensch. But listen to me. Going on this trek will drop your appeal faster than a teenager on one of those skyride attractions. Aha! Did you see what I did there? I made a topical funny. Not so bad for an aldecaca like me, eh? But back to you, Michael Collins. If you go on this show, you'll come out all for Schluggener. You have better things to do than deal with all the ride this fun mission guys, don't you? Oy vey is mir. Well, I better get going as I need to talk to my no-good son before he tries to take another piece of my patio furniture and charge people for sitting on it. So Guy Gesundheit, Michael Collins, and soll sein mit Mazel to you.
Hey there, Goliath, Slater, Gare Bear, Ride This One crew. This is Dan the fucking t-shirt guy. And I understand that you have one Mr. Mike fucking Collins from Coaster fucking Radio on your show. Well, I've just got a few words for you, Mr. fucking Mike Collins. What is this shit with cutting me out of your show, Coaster fucking Radio, because all those people filling out the fucking surveys say I get too much airtime? I don't see those folks giving you fucking Patreon money every month. When the hell do I get a say? I'm the one who gives you $20 fucking every month to hold your fucking meetups. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Taking me off of your show just because a bunch of nobodies say I get too much airtime. Well, that's bullshit. Taking away the park hopper, not playing my trip reports. It's a bunch of bullshit if you ask me. I want some more fucking airtime on Coaster fucking Radio. Otherwise, I may just have to become a full-time convert to the Ride This One podcast. Now I gotta go. Don't want to go over your fucking 90-second time limit there, Mr. Collins. See you later, assholes.
Ride This One podcast. If you want family friendly, go listen to Coaster fucking Radio.
Well, that's embarrassing.
Hello, EB from the original theme park podcast, CoasterRadio.com here, and I've been asked to provide the introduction for my close personal friend, Mike Collins. Mike's a great guy, putting himself before others. For example, he's obsessed with talking about how in the podcast community he came first. And he's so complimentary. Whenever we connect for a video chat, he shouts, it's huge, when I appear. I guess that's part of the reason why I don't mind working under him. Even when we do in-person recordings, he insists I move my mouth closer to the mic. You know how nice guys are always the ones with the darkest secrets? Oh, Mike is the nicest guy I know, so beneath the signature smile, there's something lurking and ready to bust out, hopefully, for all you fine people on this fine podcast right now. So here he is, a guy who loves watching me play with my puppet, Mike.
Well, guys, welcome to episode 15. Can you believe it, guys? We've gotten this fucking far.
And Slater's
Holy
already
crap.
2 drinks into this episode.
Oh, girl, you had no idea how deep to the wind I am right now.
Oh, no, we can hear. We can hear.
Sounds like half a bottle to me.
I'm sure the listeners can hear that, you know, they can probably smell your breath from wherever they're listening from.
They probably can. They probably can. And you know what? It's this delicious bourbon. You know, it's the one good thing out of Kentucky. It's like Washington. There's nothing good out of Washington. Nothing good out of Kentucky other than bourbon. But you know...
Well, you know one good thing came out of Kentucky.
What?
That's the Kentucky Rumbler.
Oh, the Kentucky Rumbler. Now, which Kentucky Rumbler? You know what? We'll get into that later. But you know what? We have a special guest here today, guys.
That's right. It's episode 15. You know what that means? It means we've made it enough for Michael fucking Collins to actually be able to show up on our fucking show.
Yeah. Now, the question is, did he actually fucking show up?
He wouldn't be that silly to come on this show, right?
Yeah, I told you motherfuckers last week I came to take you to church, and here I am.
Oh,
hello.
praise be.
There you
Praise
go.
be.
That's right. That's right. The Reverend is here. Welcome. No, I am so excited to be here because and we've been talking about this a little bit before we went on the air tonight. I love Ride This One. It is like the podcast that I listen to, and it's exciting. I've been looking forward to this for weeks and weeks. It's like so good to be here.
Gosh, this says a lot about who you are as a person. So,
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned now. I mean, maybe we shouldn't let Mike ever watch children. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
We just hope this doesn't like destroy your career or tarnish your impeccable image. No,
I don't see how it could. Like, you know what though? Like, it was funny because we talked a long time ago when you guys started the show about, when I would be able to come on, and I said do it at like 15 episodes, and I didn't do it like the easy joke would be like, oh, I knew the show would never make it to 15 episodes because it would suck. But like the best part is that here you are, you guys are like rolling through it and stuff. So now I feel like I can come on. I like know the jokes and stuff like that. So I feel like I can sit in and really be a part of the show. So I'm excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. I mean, you're no Clint Novak, but hey.
Who is though? I don't have the propeller beanie like Clint Novak. Like that's the thing that you need. But yeah.
So you just need like a hat then. We just need to get you that signature hat.
Yeah. I need like something that when I go to the parks, like people recognize the hat. I don't have anything like that when I go.
What about those little umbrellas?
Yeah, something like that.
Why don't we just get you one of those like poop hats? Like one of the poop emoji
You could just
hats?
be the poop
that
emoji.
Would be perfect for you live in Washington D.C. I mean that's the perfect.
Well, now he doesn't live in Washington.
That could be it.
Because who can fucking afford to live there?
No.
He commutes like a good bitch. He commutes every day from literally the most hick fucking state on the face of this earth. What a fucking trash place that is. It's the only place that might slightly rival Kentucky.
But let me tell you this, though. There is a difference between Virginia and then Northern Virginia. There's like a little like carved out space right around Washington, D.C. where it's like what I call the enlightened people. And then you get to go south where like King's Dominion and Busch Gardens is and all that stuff.
What do you mean we're not enlightened, you fucking fuck? What the fuck wrong with you? We're perfectly fine out here.
I know.
I don't know about that. I mean, we still don't have listeners in the Dakotas. So, do they even have computers and stuff, the ability to listen in Virginia?
I don't know. I don't think the internet stretched that far yet.
I love that you just said that too, because do you look at the map that gets like furnished to you by Libsyn, who hosts our podcast, where they show you where listeners are all around the country?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. That's one of the most interesting things.
And why, there's nothing in the Dakotas. Nobody in South or North Dakota is listening to Theme Park Podcasts. It's very weird.
No, they're not. I mean, maybe they're in the loop. When we have the next guy from In the Loop, maybe we can say, hey, have you guys broken into the Dakotas? And then we can figure out exactly what we need to do to get into the Dakotas.
Oh, I know exactly what we need to do. If In the Loop has listeners from the Dakotas, then the answer is more booze and less editing.
You know what you guys could do, though? We were going to do this on Coaster Radio once because we were looking at all the numbers and where people were. We said there's nobody in North Dakota listening to our show. So we were going to randomly call a bar in North Dakota and get somebody on the phone and try to get them to listen to the show.
Oh, my God.
So I think that's a perfect thing that you guys could do. Yeah. And just be like, look, we need one listener in the Dakotas. Will you be it? And try to get just some drunk dude at a random bar.
That would be the longest fucking live look-in that you ever do. Calling all of these bars and people just hanging up on you over, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's funny, it's really interesting to look at the numbers and see, around theme parks, that's where people are listening to these shows. It's kind of, and since there's nothing in the Dakotas, of course, nobody's listening up there. So, yeah, it's really interesting.
But you know what? Welcome. We are actually glad to have you here. I don't normally go into stuff like this early in the podcast, but I feel like I need to. I received something this morning that was troubling, Mike. Received a voicemail to our call-in line about someone who had an experience with you at Carowinds. And, I don't know how to feel about it, so I'm going to go to play it now for our listeners so they can make their own judgment.
Hey guys, my name is Nancy and I'm calling you guys. I'm a ride operator and I work at Fury 325. And I just called because I wanted to let you know a little story since you are talking with Mike Collins. I figured I would call and let you know a little bit of the deets that you probably don't already know. So this all happened, I guess you guys were having like a little like meetup or something. I don't know. Anyways, Prince Mike Collins comes over into my line. I'm a ride operator, like I said, and he's in my line waiting for me to let him in. And he tells me I need to go first. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because I'm a prince. And, he's kind of cute in that like nerdy coaster way. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I've never been with royalty before. So he proceeds to, well, first of all, I let him in first in line because he was kind of pushy about it. But then he tells me, yeah, hey, so what are you doing tonight? And I was like, well, nothing. So he's like, well, come to my hotel room. So I go to his hotel room. Like I said, I'm sort of interested at this point, and I'm just wondering, kind of like, what's it going to be like? What's he packing? And okay, so we start making out, and it's like really good, right? Like I'm kind of like, okay, what's going to happen next? The guy takes down his pants, and I'm telling you, when I tell you, he's got a huge cock. I mean, it is so big. I was like, how the hell am I going to get my mouth around this thing? So anyways, then we start fucking, and I'm sorry, but like this guy is so big and so good that I had to slap him across the face. I was like, can't have such a preposterous cock. Oh my God. So anyways, that goes on for a really long time, and I did come 3 times, so I'm sort of only halfway pissed. But do you know what that guy does? He gets up, when we are done, he gets up, and he wipes his cock on my Vera Bradley curtains. I mean, who does that sort of a thing? Like, who the heck does that sort of a thing? So I just thought you guys should know that. First of all, that's where your friend was during his little after hours meetup. That's why he didn't come out. And second of all, oh my God, who does that? And the only way I'm letting him get away with this is because his cock is so big. So anyways, thought you guys might be interested in that story. Thanks. Bye.
Is that the reason you didn't show up to our after party?
Yeah, and you seriously Mike, what the fuck?
Really?
Well,
What the fuck?
Jesus Christ, on the curtains?
Don't you understand that the only proper way to do this, you fuck her and then you wipe your dick on her blouse. You don't defile drapes. It's the gay code. You're on RTO. You have to follow the gay code, motherfucker.
Yeah, but she didn't have a blouse. She just had her Fury 325 outfit. She came right from work. So I didn't want to defile that.
I understand that.
Come on now.
I mean, everyone else has wiped their dick on those hotel curtains. Why not him too?
Yeah, I know. And that's my calling card, by the way. That's what I'm known for.
Well, you know what? When you come to visit, Silver Dollar City, I'm just taking all my drapes down. I can't
You
risk
better.
that. And I'm also telling my mother to stay home.
He's also going to put up some cameras, so watch out for those.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because I love all women. That's the way it goes.
You like them obese without teeth? That's my mother. So good for you. She's 62. She's single. My dad died, so it's fair game.
Oh,
you like fucking a toothless widow? Let's bring it in.
Is that why you like Kentucky Kingdom so much?
There we go. Oh,
does everyone know that Mama Paula is just based after my mom? Anyways.
Really? I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. Wow.
I thought she was based on another Kentucky, Indiana theme park person.
Does your mom smoke 15 packs a day like Mama Paula does?
No, actually, my mom was a good pastor's wife, but she doesn't listen to the show, so I can say what I want. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's
but
nice.
She is fat and she is toothless. So it was just
Has anybody's parents listened to any of these? Or do you guys have free reign where you don't have to worry about that?
I don't. My parents don't even know I do this.
Not this one. I begged her to listen to Park Fanatics, but she never really wanted to. So. But then dude, after I joined this, I was like, specifically, absolutely not. You can't listen.
I always wonder about that.
But she's more intrigued now. That's the funny part.
My mom walked up to me with her phone. She's like, "Show me how to find your podcast. I want to listen." And I immediately said, "Oh no. You are not going to listen to that.
Yeah.
I said,
Nope,
you
nope, no
already
way.
know enough about me. You don't need to know more. So
I just hope my employers don't know what the fuck podcasts
That
are.
reminds me of a story about the Carowinds meetup. So you guys had me on stage, and right immediately after, EB's son came up. How do you spell your podcast name?
Oh, God. You spell it N-O.
And EB's like, no.
That's how you spell it.
Theme Park Families.
Theme Park
He's listening to it on the way home.
There you go.
Hopefully he has an iPhone, because you can't find that on anything that's on that Android.
Did you throw some shade to Theme Park Families? Seriously?
Yes, I did. I'm sorry.
You're gonna get Andrew's gonna be mad.
Ooh, boy, Andrew will kick your ass. That kid, he ain't fucking joking around.
Yeah, that's right.
That's fine. Tell him once he gets on a platform I can listen to, I'll see what the show's about.
I love that we have that kid on every fucking episode of our show, and he's never ever heard it, and he won't, not for years.
Well, he shouldn't.
He shouldn't. I mean,
He never should. God damn.
Can you imagine how great it's going to be, though, on his 18th birthday? Like, how many episodes he'll have to listen to? He can go back and listen to the whole archive.
Yeah,
That's what's so good.
we can put him in the credits of the show.
I have this weird fear that he's like gonna turn 18 and to rebel. He's like, I hate coasters. I want nothing to do with this shit. Ugh.
Like, Dad, you made me go on all these coasters as a kid. I hate them.
And his dad's like, let's go on a coaster trip. He's like, fuck you, Dad. I hate you. I hope he won't be that kind of little bitch. I really hope not. But we are actually really glad to have you here. I mean, we couldn't quite get EB. His dick wouldn't fit through the door. We tried. Fuck.
Well, that's the problem.
But apparently, you have a monster cock as well. So let's talk about that. So tell us all about your dick, Mike. We want to know.
This is actually how we came up with the name for the show. Ride This One was all just Slater's imagination.
Yes.
I love it.
Fuck yes.
I love it. Well, I mean, I that's what I think I'm really here for. I mean, sure, we're probably going to talk about theme parks for a little bit, like maybe like 5% of the podcast, but like over the next 2 hours, I can just, tell you stories and stuff and, just kind of let you in behind the scenes. But one of the things that I wanted to say and I wanted to thank you guys for this, is that I have learned so much about the gay lifestyle and gay terminology over the past like 15 weeks of the show than I ever have before. Like before you guys, I didn't know what a twink was. And now I just feel like good. Like I know what it is. And I'm very excited. Like I didn't know what a bear was or furries, like all this stuff. And I'm like, now I know. And now I feel much more complete.
And I'm sure it's much easier for you now when you're looking up porn. You know exactly what to look up. It's much easier.
Yeah. That's the thing. Or as I see the titles go by, I'm like, oh, now I understand what that is because, I get that. Yeah.
RTO, breeding new fetishes since 2017.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but like my gay friends don't ever let me in on this stuff. Like I have a lot of gay friends and like they never tell me any of this stuff before. And I don't know why.
Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. You have Republican hair.
See, I don't know what, like I put like
It's
mousse.
true.
I put mousse in my hair and spike it up a little bit. Maybe it's just when I come to the meetups, the hair like falls flat a little bit.
It's that weird, pure, perfect, coiffed, like comb to the side.
I hate to tell you, Mike, you look like a senator, man.
See?
You do.
That's not what I want. I don't
Congressman.
Yeah, that's the thing. But see, that's the thing.
So
I am like
is
so
that why
not.
it's your calling card. You learned from Bill that that's how you do it. You come on the dress and then you leave.
Yeah,
And
and wipe it on the curtain as you leave. That's just like you're calling it.
Here's the thing, and I gotta say this out there for all of our listeners, guys. Michael fucking Collins is not who you fucking think. Playing all nice, playing all kind. Now, that's a dirty ass motherfucker. Probably one of the dirtiest motherfuckers I've ever fucking met.
That is saying a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You ever see me at the meetup when I like meet like, new listeners like I'm like, hey, how's it going? Like the real smiley, like and stuff. Kind of shy, kind of reserved. But then either once you get to know me long term or after I've had a few drinks, as I think you guys have attested to once or twice, it's like a different story. So I'm happy to be here on the show so we can let loose just a little bit.
So what you're saying is Michael Collins was a haircut. He's a he's a fucking mullet. Business in the front, party in the back, motherfuckers. That's just what it is.
Well, now it sounds like I need a mullet if I don't want Republican hair, because I don't want to have like a Republican haircut. But I do.
That would be a really good look for you.
Yeah.
I must say.
The mullet?
Yeah, the mullet. You should rock that.
I could try that.
Just like Clint Novak has the beanie, you could do
the mullet.
Mullet.
Yeah.
You could just rock the mullet.
That would go well in Southern Virginia. Like when I go down to
the
Kingston.
Mike mullet.
Yeah.
What would you consider your home park? You're in Virginia. You've got a couple of parks. Which one, is it Busch Gardens, Williamsburg?
Yeah, well, the closest one to me is Six Flags America. I could get there in like 30 minutes, but I haven't been there since like 2005. So growing up, it was King's Dominion.
The same thing with Slater.
Yeah. But growing up, it was King's Dominion. That's the park that we went to all the time because that's only like an hour's drive away. But in recent years, like the past like 15, 20 years, it's really been Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. That's been the park that I consider the home park. It's the one that I always get a season pass to, and it's the one that I go to like multiple times a year.
So what's your favorite ride there at Busch Gardens?
I know that you guys like to rag on me for it because like it's the one, it's old, but I love Apollo's Chariot. That's my go-to, and it always has.
That's a great ride though.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's like a classic.
I have a
B&M
confession,
Hyper.
and I actually confessed it to Mike yesterday, I believe it was, that of all of the B&M Hypers, and I stress Hypers, not Gigas, that Apollo's Chariot is my favorite.
Oh, yeah. But you know what?
It's beautiful.
I rode it a couple days ago.
That's because you haven't ridden Goliath.
No, it's because I just like to imagine that
one.
I was like sitting in the possible same seat as Fabio. Oh, Jesus.
That's right.
That's right. Getting that front seat. Yeah, goose free. But you know what? I rode Apollo's Chariot, and like going down over that first drop, it felt like nothing after riding Fury like a month ago. I was so shocked how like just the sensation was nothing at all compared to what Fury was.
Wow.
You all have spent years as a theme park and roller coaster podcast. Honestly, okay, let's be honest. Y'all spent years as a theme park podcast going fucking nowhere. And all of a sudden now y'all have started traveling. You're doing these meetups. You're starting able to do a lot more than you ever were able to do.
I even heard that you guys might be doing a European coaster tour.
Right.
For European coaster meetups? Really?
We are seriously talking about it. And the funny thing is, and when EB comes on this podcast, he'll tell you the same thing. Years ago, he was of the mindset that like, I'm not leaving this country. I'm staying right here. If I want to see the Eiffel Tower, I'll see one at Kings Island. That was what he said to me once. He goes, I don't need to. If I want to visit Europe, I'll go to World Showcase at Epcot.
No. That's shit poor people say because they think it's not possible. So they convince themselves that they don't want to. When in reality, they have a total hard-on for it.
But what is his reason for not wanting to leave the U.S.? Like, is he scared? Is he like... money? What?
I think it was back in the day. Like this is like years ago, like 10 years ago. I think he was just like, I'm happy where I am. I don't need to travel because I can have the same things. But now that we've done this podcast for a while, and I think that he hears listeners calling in from all of these European parks, and now that we've got YouTube videos of everything, I think he's really getting excited to go and try things on that side of the world.
Here's the reality. Once you've been fucking the same pussy for 10 years, you gotta have something a little different. So if you can't go fuck another bitch, you gotta go ride some new fucking coasters at least. That's all I'm saying.
I think you're right, and that's why I think that you've said, like, I've just been with the same King's Dominion and Busch Gardens for so long. I'm ready to branch out. I'm ready for some strange.
So which one are you most excited to go see out there if you were to pick one?
I think we were talking about if we had to go one, it would be in Germany and Phantasialand. That just seems to have so much great stuff there, especially like they're talking about their new like flying launched coaster next year. It's
going to be so cool.
Yeah. So I think that is the park. But also I think if we did do something of a European tour, we'd have to stop in England too. Just because there's so many great parks there as well. So
Matt from Yorkshire would be quite upset if we didn't stop and say hello.
Oh yeah, see, and he's come over here so many times for like events and stuff.
Exactly, so. We've got to go see him.
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll all just crash.
It's only kind of you to do that. I mean, he's put in so much.
Yeah,
I will say, and one of the few serious moments you'll ever hear on this show is honestly what you all have done is built a community and a family. Honestly. Like, especially once you've started these meetups and people started meeting in person, people have started forming these tight-knit groups and families. We're starting to meet up and go to parks together. And I think that's kind of exciting that you all have inadvertently, kind of built this thing. It's a shame we don't invite you to anything.
I love it because there are so many things that you guys go do.
Hey, the one time that we we did invite them last year, we even got Prince Mike Collin passes, and he didn't come join us.
I know.
I don't think we're big enough yet. I think once we hit like 30 episodes, maybe hit those bigger download numbers, maybe he'll give us the time of day.
No, it's because Goliath thought cinnamon bread was enough of a lure. No, tequila, vodka, whiskey, and rum.
I gotta tell you, it was not just cinnamon bread.
We have fuck boys.
Mike, what did I bring you that you didn't even pick up?
Yeah, it was the moonshine. You brought moonshine.
Cinnamon moonshine.
Yeah.
Special moonshine that he couldn't get up, and he couldn't even show up.
Yeah.
I hope she was a good enough leg.
Do you want to know I didn't even talk about this on Coaster Radio. Do you know where I ended up that night for real after the Carowinds meetup? I ended up in the emergency room. I was actually there. Yeah, I didn't talk about this on Coaster Radio, but as I was driving back to the hotel, I was like feeling just really like super exhausted, and like the one side of my throat like was completely swelling up, and I was like, oh fuck, like what the fuck is happening? Like it was so weird. So I was like, wait, is there like a clinic around here or something? And so I looked on my phone real quick, and the only thing that was open was like the local emergency room. So I said, I'm going in here right now to like check this out because I'm like far from home. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I went in. And
Wait a second.
Yeah.
See, it's a shame I wasn't around because I could have told you right away what that was. You hadn't sucked enough cock. You see, you have to take enough cock down the throat to keep the swelling down.
Yeah.
That was the problem.
Maybe that's what it was.
Is that why you weren't able to do an episode? Because your throat was hurt, aka you didn't have enough cock?
That might have been it. But listen to that episode of Coaster Radio. You hear that my voice is like, I'm like down like this the whole time. Like there's something really bizarre going on. And so I got to the emergency room, and like, of course, like, does this ever happen like to you guys? Like you can tell me if this happens, but like I'm sitting there in the emergency room and I'm like covered like just from the day, you've got like all the sunscreen on and you're just kind of like haven't taken a shower yet, and you just it's like that theme park funk that's on you after like 15
you
days.
got all the grime, all the restraints.
Yeah, and we were in that park for like 15 hours that day, starting with like the early morning stuff and all that. So like
the doctors in the back are fighting about who has to help you.
Yeah, well, no. So they put me in this room and they say, okay,
you do it.
Yeah,
he smells like a foot covered in sunscreen. No,
that's
thank
probably
you.
what they were saying. Like they were drawing straws out there of who had to go in. But I guess the person who won the lottery to come in was like the hottest ER nurse I've ever met in my life. Or like not even a nurse. She was a full doctor. She comes in. She's got the long blonde hair. She's got the big old boobs. She comes in. I'm like, oh, fuck. Like, why? Why couldn't it just be like.
Says boobs.
Yeah. Like, why couldn't it just be like the, old ass doctor coming in or something like that?
But I have to bring this up because it makes me laugh every time. The way you say boobs.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like the Northern Virginia.
Did no one ever teach you to say tits?
I know.
I'm just...
No, but he has to censor himself for his show, so he's just...
Yeah.
He's on... He knows them as boobs at this point, right? It's been 10 years?
Yeah, but you know what the thing is, though? If I say big old boobs on Coaster Radio, I get 10 fucking emails from people saying,
really?
Hey, you need to stop talking about boobs on your podcast. You can't do that.
You need to stop listening, then.
I'm like, wait a sec. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, I've never understood that, why, like, people get upset when if I say Dolly Parton's boobs, it, like, sets off, like, in conservative America somewhere,
really?
like
sirens. I think you guys have like more of a family audience, so you probably got a lot of maybe suburban moms.
I don't know, but I don't know how that happened, because
who is it that's like responding to these emails? Is it moms or is it?
Oh, well, Michael Collins, I cannot have you talking about the boobs, the BOOBS on that podcast of yours. My little thunder chunk is listening to that,
That's what it is. Like, do you remember, like, years ago on Coaster Radio, we did the Coaster Boy Christmas, and we made a movie of it? Like, do you remember that? Like, we made like a little short film, and in that movie, Coaster Boy flicks us off twice.
Yes.
I got so many emails from people saying, why did you put that in there? My son saw it, and I had to explain to him what flicking off was. I was like, what the hell are we talking about? Like, what?
You just have a lot of kids listening,
I don't know what's going on. Like, it's
don't
weird.
get political, but here's the thing to every parent out there. That's your fucking job to explain shit that your kids see. That's your whole point in life.
If it wasn't here, it's going to be somewhere else on the internet that they're going to see that shit. So, like, that's not even the worst thing that they could see. You guys are like, what, PG at most?
You could have had that guy waving his dick around.
I don't think it'd been made to YouTube, but, you know, maybe Pornhub, you know, Coaster Boy Uncut on Pornhub.
A Coaster Boy dick miss. It would have been very different.
Yeah. Oh, I could unzip to that so quick. Let me just tell you.
I'm sure. We'll include a link on the episode description.
There you go. But see, this is the beautiful thing is that you guys are giving me the opportunity to rebel through evil Mike Collins. That I can come on here, I can curse, I can scream and yell.
We're your outlet.
Yeah. So I love it. That's why when you guys ask me,
10 years of pent up anger.
just so frustrated. So I love it. I love coming on here.
You know, let's dive into this. So obviously you've been doing this a long time, Mike. So tell our listeners a little bit. What do you actually do for a living?
Yeah, so basically what I do is I create videos, like mini documentaries for an organization when they want to honor somebody. That's my main job, and it's usually people who are, sometimes like celebrities and things like that. So it's kind of cool, like to do research on, somebody who's done a lot of work in television or radio or film and create a 4-minute video about their life.
I'm really confused now because EB told me that he paid you to take care of his wife when he couldn't.
No, that's. I think that EB. How many kids does he have? Like 3. So I think he's doing a fine job of that on his own there. So.
You know, it was so funny when I first listened to you guys. I thought EB was like the crazy one, and you would be like the down to earth, maybe dad type. No, total fucking opposite.
Yeah.
Wait a second. I'm gonna say this right now. Mike Collins is totally a DILF, even though he's not a dad. Woo, boy. Shit, bend me over, I'll bend you over, daddy. I don't give a fuck. You're on this episode, I'm going to say what I want.
See, and that's it. Can I say that's the other thing? Like, I'm just going to let some things loose, get some things off my chest here.
Absolutely.
We do Coaster Radio, and all my life I've wanted to be on the radio. That's like really what I wanted as a kid. But then anybody who works in radio knows that it's sometimes not such a great career because it's terrible hours, terrible pay. You have to move around the country all the time. You're kind of never like settled down in one spot. So this was a great opportunity when podcasting came along to say, hey, I'm gonna do a radio show. But then what fucking topic do I pick? Like theme parks and roller coasters, which is like 95% dudes. So for like a straight guy like me, it's like, wait, what have I done? Like there's no chance to get laid like on a show like this, Like so
you really thought that podcasting would lead to getting laid.
Whereas for me, we were literally 10 episodes in and I got laid because of this
see?
show.
Exactly.
So,
what the fuck?
I knew it. See,
what are
I knew
you doing?
It.
How? You need to write a book. I'm confused.
See, I told you.
This hasn't led to anything but like I got free tickets to a haunt once. That's it. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, see? I knew.
You put that shit in your Grindr profile? Host the RTO. Come at me, bitches.
What kind of haunts are you going to in the middle of fucking April? I mean, come on.
Oh, he's talking about when he did Theme Park Fanatics, Goliath.
Oh, that's your problem. That's your problem. Right, this one. Right, this one is where it's at, especially for
it's true.
for people like Slater and you.
No, we as park fanatics, we were always just living in the shadow of Coaster Radio at the time.
And now a fucking message from those bitches at In the Loop.
Hey everyone, Legend here. So I'm supposed to leave a message wishing Mike Collins luck on the Ride This One podcast. But instead, here's a song about how much Drew the Intern loves dicks. Drew the Intern, he loves dicks. Drew the Intern, he loves dicks. He's allergic to bananas, but he loves them dicks. Drew the Intern. He loves dicks. What the fuck is Mike Collins doing on the Ride This One podcast? I thought that some bitch had some class. Guess him and EB must be out of Patreon money or something.
What is up, Ride This One podcast is Drew the Intern, the most popular in the loop host. I'm a little confused why Mike would be the one you brought onto the show, as we've already learned that EB is the DILF of the show and Mike is just okay. I guess this makes me think that the only reason Mike is here is to learn about the CoasterRadio.com survey results. And the results are in, and I happen to have the first copy. First thing we have learned here is that even less listeners give a fuck about Patreon than last year. Are you guys curious about what Mike and EB spend their Patreon funds on? Well, some listeners have found out, and that is probably why money is lower. The top 5 things. Number 1, Preparation H, that anti-itch cream. Number 2, pornography. And then the bottom 3, car washes, Taco Bell, and donating to the homeless. At least one of those is good. Honestly, knowing your listeners at Coaster Radio, though, I would have expected more fucked up shit. But who knows? Speaking of listeners giving less of a fuck, ever since Slater has announced that he doesn't listen to CoasterRadio.com anymore, downloads have dropped 69%. 69. Do gay dudes 69? I'm not even sure exactly how that would work. Ass to dick, butthole to mouth. Who knows? Seems like a great question for the legend, whose real name is Pat. His knowledge of buttholes and blowjobs seems to be dramatically more informative than that of Little Spoon. Fuck you, Kenny. On the next topic, favorite characters that EB has created on the show. Gay Goliath, coming in at strong number 1. For some reason, survey results are saying that Gay Goliath is even more of a bitch than Slater himself, which is absolutely incredible, as Slater was the biggest bitch I've ever met in my life. And he seems more realistic, too. But let's be honest, Goliath would make a great bear. Everyone knows it, even Goliath himself. So congratulations on Mike with all of your Coaster Radio success, which was really In the Loop's responsibility. If Clint Novak wasn't such a fucking pain in the ass to work with his damn propeller beanie and his lack of showing up to meetings, Coaster Radio Season 2 probably would have never happened. It was just EB or Clint. Who did Mike want to work with? And he was like, EB's that DILF. I'd much rather work with him. So you're welcome, world. In the Loop did more than just show you guys how fucking awesome crayons were. Which, by the way, that video is at 1.2 million views. Check it out. As for the guys of Ride This One podcast, I can't believe people still listen to this show. With all of the theme park podcasts out there, you guys are definitely one of them. So we'll see you around, and good luck to all of y'all, and fuck off. Drew the Intern is out.
Hey Mike, it's your BFF Clint Novak. Just wanted to call in and say, what the hell are you doing here, man? Why would you sink to this kind of low? I mean, I understand why people like EB would be interested, or Drew the Intern, aka Mr. Sunshine, or even Kenny Little Spoon would want to do this show, because they have nobody else asking them to do anything. But you are the second most popular theme park podcast host out there, under, of course, myself. But why would you sink to this kind of level? People like us don't do this. Also, why in the hell are you drunk calling the show, man? I mean, get your shit together. Now that I think about it, why haven't I been invited to this show? I mean, I wouldn't accept if I did, but Drew the Intern gets an invite before me? That's kind of messed up. I mean, if it wasn't for me, Drew the Intern would be going on successful dates and not be seen as the podcast nerd he is today. If it wasn't for me, podcasts like Coaster Radio or Ride Another One, I think that's the name of the show, would not even be a thing. I mean, I was podcasting before it was called podcasting. And that brings me to my next point. Coaster Radio needs to stop using the original theme park podcast as their slogan, because they're not. I am the original theme park podcast. Do what real podcasts do, and if you're going to use that as a title, then you need to put an asterisk next to it. This is embarrassing. Mike, if you have any common sense, right now, just get out of it, man. Just disconnect your Skype feed and make it some excuse. You know, thunderstorms in D.C., Neil Patrick Harris is on the other line, whatever. You're above this, man. You're above this. I'm getting out of here.
Actually, you know what, Garrett, I would love you to tell Mike your little story about how you plan to try to get to know them through Park Fanatics, and you failed miserably.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, Well, I don't know if you would call it a plan, but like I was really excited when you guys were doing the Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
Coaster Radio meetup. Jesus Christ, I'm 2 shots in on tequila, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
That's it.
But seriously, I was so excited to meet you, and for whatever reason, you weren't there.
Yeah.
At that Coaster Radio meetup. What was that? Back in like 2015?
Yeah.
15?
Yeah. I guess like 2 years ago now. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was awesome hanging out with EB. But that was when I learned that he was like the straight-laced one, and like the dad dude. But it was so much fun hanging out with him. It was like the best day ever. But I don't know. I was really excited to like. I was like, I'm going to infiltrate their listeners, and I'm going to shake everyone's hand and be the Park Fanatic guy. But then I like showed up there, and I was like super shy.
See, and my plan was really easy. I'm like, I'm going to give him money and talk about dick.
And we were so like accepting. We were
I was too afraid to talk about dick.
You know, I exude it.
Especially after meeting EB, he was like, no dick at all.
When Slater approached me about this, he's like, you know what? I've been donating to Coaster Radio, so maybe they'll give us some airtime. You know, I'm their #1 contributor. I've worked my way into their
I've bought my way into your heart, please.
Into their upper class.
I square my way up to their buttholes.
There you go. And it worked too.
Executive producer, bitches.
Yeah. Goliath, you were on the stage at Carowinds. It worked.
I was.
Kudos for being that brave. Shit.
You guys did it so much better. You guys fucking... I can't... I just... This podcast is amazing. I couldn't believe that you actually reached out to me.
I got to be honest though, like because it has nothing to do with like the Patreon stuff. I will always promote and support this podcast because I seriously, this is what I listen to whenever there's a new episode. It's what I listen to on the long drive into work, and I get excited for it. And so
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I just love it.
That's so nuts because we're listening to you and you're listening to us. It's like this weird alternate reality where we're like best friends, but we don't know each other.
I know, that's the funniest thing about like podcasting and the internet and stuff. Like you have these relationships with people, and maybe you meet them like once a year if you're lucky and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it's cool though.
All right, here's the honest reaction I've had from our podcast. Okay, I go to people like, hey, you should check it out. You know, we're doing this podcast, great, and like, oh, sure, okay. And like 3 months later, they're like, I finally listened to your podcast and shit, it's actually good. I didn't expect that. And I'm just like, what'd you think I was going to fucking do? You know?
Yeah. Right.
For some reason.
People hear theme park and they think it's like, oh, that's like a kid show.
Yeah. Or they hear like podcast and they
no.
think it's like some dude with, just sitting in the basement with a recorder and heavy breathing into it and stuff. But no. It's
I sit in my guest room. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there you go. With bourbon.
Oh my God. I
of
can't play Grand Theft Auto anymore because that's literally what everyone does with their mics on Team Chat.
But you know what, guys? Turns out, and I don't want us to forget, but we actually are a theme park podcast. So maybe we should talk about a little bit of news.
We're just making it hard for you, Mr. Editor.
Well, you know.
You thought you were going to get off easy because Mike Collins is just such an excellent guest, but Tangent City.
I love it, though.
Well, I mean, bringing it back to our guests, one of the times Evil Mike Collins called us, he called us from Las Vegas.
Yes.
That's right.
That?
Yes.
How many hookers and how much blow had you gone through at that point?
Well, at that point, none, because I had just gotten back from the Tiki Bar, so I had started to like plan where am I going to go out on my nights out, into the city and stuff. So, but I'm pretty well connected.
You found the coke and you found the hookers.
Yeah.
And then how many roller coasters did you ride with them?
Oh, I that's where I take them. That's my move. Is I'm like, hey, ladies. Like first, I go onto the strip and I get those cards. Those cards are
the snappers.
Yeah, so I get those, and then I flip through, and I'm like, all right. You kind of flip through, and you say, all right, the blonde there looks good, the brunette is good. Then I call, and I'm like, hey, do you know who?
You hear that?
Yeah. You hear that smacking sound. Yeah.
Hey.
Then normally what I do is I call EB, and I'm like, hey, EB, set this up for me. Tell them who I am, and that I'm coming, and that I need, to ride some roller coasters. So EB is like the pimp, basically, in this scenario.
See.
Yeah, so.
I see. Okay, he's got the hookup on the ladies.
Yeah.
Does he have fuckboys too? Because Slater and I, is he accommodating?
His business is expanding, so like he is getting into that now too. So like it's like it's good.
We'll tell him the demand is hot.
Yeah. There we go.
It's out there.
Yeah. That those things on the Vegas Strip that were so weird. Those like flap. Like I've always been like terrified to even like learn how that works. Like what are those cards? Like what happens if you call them?
You call the number and you get your dick sucked. I guess right?
Yeah, I don't know how it works though.
If we're wrong,
because
send us an email.
How is that?
Somebody tell us.
Somebody needs to tell us because
what we need to do an RTO meetup in Las Vegas.
Dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm going to Vegas in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna collect those cards and I'm gonna call those fucking numbers.
Okay.
I'll report back to
Absolutely.
you.
Hell yeah. Make sure you get the recordings. We need to know. We need to know what's going on.
And just so that it's relevant to this podcast, I'll do it in the fucking Adventure Dome over at Circus Circus.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Things don't have to be relevant. We're a little bit everywhere here. It doesn't matter.
well, duh. But I'm trying, dude. It's got to be. As long as it has coaster noises in the background, we can play it on the show, right?
Here's what you guys could do. Here's a new segment for RTO that you could do. Get a bunch of those cards and then like find out how much each girl charges like per hour or something, or even like half hour.
God, yes.
But then you say, I'm going to call you and we're going to ask you questions about theme parks and roller coasters for like 15 minutes or a half hour, whatever it is. And then that's how like you really get to know her.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I thought you were going to say like we actually pay her to like come ride a roller coaster with us.
That's even better in person. It's like, hey, I don't want to, get a blowjob or anything. I want you to ride Manhattan Express with me. And that's what I want you to do.
Can we do this?
I'm going to
do this.
See, I bet you she shows up and enjoys herself and thinks that's the most hilarious thing.
She's like, this is the best night ever.
Yeah.
I got paid $100 to go ride Manhattan Express, and he paid for my ride and got me a drink.
Exactly.
They're gay, so I didn't have to worry about sucking their dick.
And I love that all of this came up because unlike other podcasts we know, Ride This One will not be waiting 10 years to have a meetup.
Well, every time we go to the parks, we tweet about it, and no one shows up. Damn it.
Well, we are going to be shooting to do our first mini meetup next year.
Oh, sweet.
And Vegas is definitely a contender, but we want to hear from everyone out there. Where do you want Ride This One to go?
Wait, Vegas? The one place where there's no theme parks?
There's places to fucking go.
Yeah, but, I mean, as a theme park podcast, we're not even meeting where there's a damn theme park.
Listen.
There's a coaster.
Well, theme parks, sex clubs,
now
it doesn't
Adventure
really matter.
Dome, is that a theme park?
I guess you could call that
I
a theme
would
park.
say so.
It's more an amusement park, if you want to call it a park. It's a park.
So it's a family entertainment center. Is that something you'd call it?
It's a place to dump your kids while you go gamble.
Basically.
Is that something to say, like Fun Spot might buy?
Maybe. I don't know. El Toro's pretty fucking fantastic.
El Loco.
El Loco.
El Loco, yeah.
El Loco.
I was
That's a
like,
good
El Toro's
roller
that shitty coaster that Ariel loves. And Dan the
I don't
T-shirt
know how
guy.
I
Dan the
mixed those
T-shirt
two
guy loves El Toro so much.
Yeah.
He wants to suck El Toro's dick. Long story on
No
that
one's
one,
doing
but
that
he'll
for El Loco.
appreciate it. Kickstand
You're
Dan,
talking
you're
about
right.
Kickstand Dan,
You're
right?
Kickstand Dan, we're going to have him on the
Dan.
show. We're stealing Dan from you. I'm sorry.
He's like
Actually,
the best guy.
like
He's ours
everything, Mike, I'm sorry, we're basically stealing everything you have.
No, that is the best. I steal everything too, so don't worry about it. Like, yeah.
Can you send me that Boing sound effect? Because we know
send it
you
your
guys
way.
aren't going to be using it.
No, we'll send it your way, and then you can have Dan on, and because that dude knows every single park. It's perfect. Like, you don't even have to do research.
Oh,
You just say,
But it's a shame all of your listeners fucking hate Dan.
RTO is just recycle this one. We're just basically, we get all the crap from Coast Radio. We are essentially like the Canada's Wonderland of Knott's Berry Farm.
I love
for
it.
Haunt.
That's why I'm so
Just
glad.
pass off all your shit to us.
Yeah. Well, I love that Big Boy has found a home here. That's my favorite thing, because that was one of my favorite characters, and he
We
lives
love
on
Big
here.
Boy.
Yeah. It's great.
Slater, why didn't we do a Big Boy skit for this episode? Edit this out or not. I don't care. I'm calling you out. This needs to be a thing.
I don't know, bitch. Maybe it's because motherfuckers were too busy doing other shit.
Maybe there's one next episode. This is probably going to be 2 fucking episodes.
At this rate.
At this point, dude, we could milk this.
We could.
That's true. That's true.
We could take more than 2 weeks off. This is amazing.
No,
Mike,
because we do have to record on the 16th. We have no choice. People are booked because unlike other podcasts we know, we don't do everything last minute. We are literally booked out 3 months in advance minimum.
Oh, bullshit. When did we get the news ready for this episode?
I said booking, not news. I can't fucking know what's happening 6 months from now, motherfucker. Okay? I don't just pull it up out of my asshole.
Sure.
But we're a coaster podcast. So let's talk about some fucking coasters. Let's talk about fucking news. We have been talking about Vegas. So let's go back and focus here. Stratosphere was recently sold. They were sold to a new company. So the question is, what the fuck does this mean for Stratosphere?
More rides.
I'm just hoping that we'll finally get that Aero coaster back. You know, this might be the ability to have an aerodynamics resurgence.
Wait, is that Speed the Ride?
No, it was that fishhook ride they had years ago. They wanted to build it. The problem is that'll probably get built before Skyplex. I'm just saying.
Oh, we all know that will happen.
That ride was going to be awesome too.
Is a pipe dream.
Yeah. Do you remember
big ass pipe?
Do you remember how cool that was going to be? That big 750-foot sky hook coaster, and it was going to go down the stratosphere, go across the strip, and then up and kind of on a fish hook that I think would go like 300 or 400 feet, and then back. It was going to be extreme.
And what blows my mind is
How the fuck would you get off at the bottom of that fish hook?
That's what I was trying to figure out, like how they or would they pull it back, or would it just like have an unload at the bottom?
You did unload at the bottom. I do remember that. And here's what gets me. You know what stopped that? There is a trailer/RV park around there.
Yeah.
They're the ones who fucking stopped that ride.
God damn it.
Yeah.
See,
Noise.
This is why you don't have public hearings. I don't care if you have to or not.
Fuck you, Randy Ray Rayford, and your vacation home.
Randy Ray Rayford.
It was a bunch of Randy Rays that stopped it.
Exactly.
You know what the coolest part about the Stratosphere is? I mean, the rides are great, but there is an awesome bar at the top of the Stratosphere that has an elevator that, like, normally they charge you like $19 to go to the top of the Stratosphere, but if you tell them you're going to the bar, they let you go for free right up to the bar.
What?
You can have a drink there, and then you walk up to the rides, and you, like, skip the $19 admission.
How the fuck? Is this just a loophole?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's just this weird loophole, but if you say, I want to go to the top of the world bar, they'll put you in a direct elevator that takes you right to it, and then you walk up these stairs, and you're right there at the rides.
Because I've passed by that thing before.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
There we go.
Oh, that's strange. That's an excellent tip. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you, because I definitely want to go out there.
You want to come next weekend? Let's go.
Vegas is so good.
Vegas.
I love Vegas.
Everybody show up to Vegas
Yeah.
next weekend. Ah, fuck,
Listen
that's
to
this
the
weekend since
unofficial
we're releasing
Ride
this
This
next
One
weekend.
meetup. You're going to be all alone.
There you go.
If you're in Vegas, look for me.
Yeah. But the Stratosphere is good even if you want to do some gambling because they usually have lower limit tables. So if you want to like get your feet wet and, you know, play a couple $5 tables and stuff, they've got them down there.
$5 tables?
Yeah. You can
like
find
blackjack?
them. Yeah. Sometimes, like if you go in the daytime, it's $5, but at night it's like 10. You know, so it's not like horrible. It's not like where it gets up like down on the mid strip where it's like $25 a table or something. So
they are like way the fuck north.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It makes sense. Like you get a little bit more north and it's like, wow, you're
It's
in local
cheaper,
territory.
but then you're gonna get shot on the way out.
Yeah,
Dude, okay, so there's this chunk between Stratosphere and Fremont Street where you'll get shot. But like, if you make it through that to Fremont Street, you're totally fine.
Yeah, that's why if the cab driver will like take you on this kind of highway that's around it, and then you can like stay out of that sketch area. And even if you're going down to Stratosphere, I would take a cab. I wouldn't walk down there. I would like get in a cab.
Welcome to Vegas Cast, folks.
Yeah. So you gotta cab it there and then cab it to Fremont Street. But
yeah, or the bus. The bus actually is awesome.
Yeah, you could do that too.
You could always use Uber. You know, do you guys have an Uber referral link or something we could provide people with?
You guys ought to have
I need my free $20 rides.
Yeah.
We do need a sponsor. We really do. because I cannot afford all this fucking lube for Garrett. He goes through it so fucking fast. Jesus Christ.
I love their cum lube. It's the best.
Oh, God. But you know what? Let's dive in. We have a lot of questions for the great Michael Collins.
Oh, I'm ready.
Are you ready? Do you know what that means?
I'm sort of nervous, and this might have been the part that I was nervous about way back when you guys invited me on the show originally, like way back when. But I'm ready. I mean, I'm set.
So,
I've got nothing to hide.
First time you sucked EB's dick, could you get it all in your mouth? That's what we really want to know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think that early on, like when we first started the podcast, I think like there were people who thought that we were gay because they thought like, oh, Coaster Enthusiast podcast, like that's just what they thought.
But trust me, in our fan fiction, you definitely are.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fags listening to your show. I just want to say, we're definitely one of them.
Is there a website for the fan fiction that I could go to? Like, is it published or is it just
no?
You guys
We're
have it in a
still
notebook?
working on it. Okay, we're like halfway through, and we're trying to figure out how we can sculpt the finale to actually be, powerful. And I don't know. We're trying to figure out where EB's gonna bust. Is it on your chest, your face? We can't. We're trying.
We ought to do an audiobook of it for real. Like,
can you read for it? If
we'll
read
read
for it. This is going to be the best fucking thing that ever happened to this show.
It would be hilarious. I know EB wouldn't do it, but how funny would it be to have a segment on your show where we actually do an audiobook version of it?
Oh my God.
And could you make it like one of those like Fabio romance novels or something? That to me would be so funny. I know EB would not do it.
What's that
though.
guy that writes all the dinosaur fan fiction?
Yeah.
Chuck Tingle, right? Oh my God, we got to get him to just write us a fan fiction, please.
Oh yeah,
dinosaur fan fiction. Are you trying to?
Oh my God!
Where did you find out about dinosaur fan fiction?
Oh, this is a tangent for another episode. Let's just leave it at
Garrett,
that. But yes,
I will have to say,
Okay.
Mr. Gare Bear, I am 100% aware of what you're talking about. I know exactly.
Is that his name? I think I'm getting it wrong. Chuck Tingle?
Something like that. There's also a lady who does a lot of it. But let's go on to a real question. Now, one of the questions we ask everybody on here, and obviously since you're an avid listener, which of course you are.
It is Chuck Tingle. I'm sorry. It is Chuck Tingle.
There we go.
But
anyways,
are you a wood or a steel guy, or are you perhaps a bi rider? What do you prefer?
Recently, I've been very bi riding both wood and steel, but I think.
Oh wait, can you just say that again, just a little bit slower?
Yeah, so you can isolate it. Yeah, I have bi, but no, the you know what?
Got it.
Yeah, there you go. The thing though that I think I'm more of a steel guy. Really, I think I have been just over time. I really like the hyper coaster and the giga coaster. That's my favorite style.
So you like bigger, better, faster. Always.
Yeah, I like the nice floater airtime. I think that's why I've been always such a big fan of like Apollo's Chariot and Goliath.
What about Thigh Crush? Is it?
Yeah,
Thigh Crush. Is that like your dream coaster?
Thigh Crush is pretty good.
That's ejector airtime.
It's pretty. That one is pretty painful though, but I do like it. I like that style, like just kind of the big and fast type thing.
That new Intamin. Do you like I-305? Do you like the new Intamins a lot?
You know what though? That is the one ride. That is the one like giga coaster that I don't like. I think
Really?
Intimidator. Intimidator to me is a ride you almost have to ride defensively. And that's just, and I know that there are people who love that ride.
Well,
like,
it's
and think
just
that
like it's like one of the most intense rides out there right now.
Yeah.
At this point,
and to me, like actually, one time I rode that, and I think I turned my head to look at my brother who I was riding with, and the ride did one of those quick flips, and it yanked my neck, and for like 2 weeks, my neck was just like almost like whiplash sore. It was like so sore where I couldn't even like turn my head. So like. And that combined with the graying out at the bottom, which is just such a weird sensation that isn't pleasant to me. It kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not a ride that I want to run back and do again. But every time I've been at King's Dominion with like somebody who's never ridden it before, I'll go on it with them.
Okay.
Just because I think the drop is amazing, that first drop. But
the first drop is worth it, but that graying out is where it gets fishy.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah,
is this worth it?
Yeah. And then I'm just like, hey, is this like, is this ultimately good for us? I don't even, who knows? It seems like such a weird sensation to have for that extended amount of time on a roller coaster. So I've never been a gigantic fan of that, but most similar roller coasters like that I love.
I have some advice for those that love those type of rides, because I had this problem on Goliath here at Six Flags Magic Mountain. That final helix kept making me gray out, and I was getting tired of it. So I looked up what they did to train F1 pilots. I don't know what you would call it, F-16 pilots.
Yeah.
And they would train on the like centrifugal machine, and they'd do this like breath maneuver, and it would help them get through grayouts. And you learn. You just look this shit up.
Yeah, it's called yoga. Like yoga. It's like a coaster yoga, if you will. I actually learned that on Goliath last year when we did Coasterthon. I rode that 70 laps, which I'm about to ride again. But at the very end, you're like, oh, but you do a little bit of coaster yoga.
Is that where you like hold your breath and like get through it? Like,
yeah, of course.
No, that's called shitting yourself. What the fuck was that? Don't shit yourself.
Yeah,
on a
no,
coaster.
seriously.
What the fuck?
You have an issue with graying out, look up fighter pilot like techniques for not blacking out and use those on the coasters, and it helps. It's like you do this, you hold your breath as hard as you can, you hold as much air as you can, and then you do this noise while you're graying out, and it helps you from not graying out. I swear to God. If you're a big fan of I-305, but you're sick of graying out, look up fighter pilot techniques.
I'm seriously bored now, y'all fucking pussies. I don't fucking care.
Edit this shit out. It's your job. It's your job to make us look good.
Well, there's only so much I can do, honey.
Yes. Now let's talk about some shitty coasters that'll kill you that are wood. Because we've talked about amazing steel coasters.
I'm just really disappointed that Mike is a steel guy, because I came into this episode being all like, you know what? Shit, I totally bought him for him. I let him fuck me. And I'm thinking
I wanted him to ride my Woody,
top
baby.
him at the most. So it's just like...
I'm sad.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, how long on Coaster Radio has he sang the praises of the B&M Hypercoaster?
I know.
True.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
true. That's true.
If you didn't realize that,
but you like wood too.
There's a problem, sir.
You said you're a buy rider yourself.
I am, but
right.
But the thing is, too, as I've heard so many people get asked the same question on the show, and they always say buy. I just wanted to take a strong stance one way or the other. But I still,
strong.
Yeah,
See,
but I love
It's rare nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. But
to see one on one side or the other.
But I do love a good wooden roller coaster, too, except we're just seeing fewer and fewer of them. I went on Invader at Busch Gardens a couple days ago and loved it. It was great.
Really? See, everyone's been kind of like trash talking Invader, but it looks so good.
It's good.
It looks great. Yeah, see, we might be the ones trash talking it more than anybody, but like, seriously, it looks like a fantastic roller coaster with all those like underground elements, and just Busch Gardens seems to really have a thing with trenches.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
I got to tell you, I rode in the back seat in the dark, and there's hardly any lights out there on it. And once you go into that tunnel, it's a pretty wild ride in the back seat. And it's completely different in the front seat, too. So I think hopefully...
I love that. That's rewritability right there.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And it's one of those things that, I think after the newness wears off, I think it's one of those that people are going to be able to go run around and re-ride in different seats and really enjoy themselves. So I was glad to see like a traditional wooden roller coaster being bought, put up in a park this year, and not just another RMC. So I was happy to see that ride.
It was strange. We didn't really get much in 2016 to 2017, but it was all wood coasters, surprisingly, and it wasn't RMC for once. It was nice. It wasn't the biggest, the best, but we got a lot of solid wood coasters. With Invader, Mind Blower, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to get down to Florida to have Mind Blown.
Oh my God. Yes, I've been jacking off to that for months now.
It looks like a great ride too. So we're lucky. We got some good ones this year.
Oh, well, it looks like we have another message for Mike. Aren't you a popular bitch? This time from the Civil Gore podcast.
Okay, let me see if this is working. I don't think it's on yet. But anyway, before we start recording, Brian, did you hear that Mike is going to be on Ride This One?
Wait, Mike
podcast?
Mike Collins?
Yeah, Mike Collins.
Oh my!
Like I mean, I don't know what's scarier, the movie we're covering this week, or the fact that a 40-year-old guy is trying to recreate a Disney tiki bar in his house.
Oh my God! Yeah, Coaster Radio must really be going down the tubes if he needs to go on that piece of shit.
Well, he's not actually coming on as Mike Collins. He's coming on as evil Mike Collins. But Mike's really not that evil, so I'm wondering if he's just trying to get in good with those guys so he can secure EB's release out of Slater's basement.
Oh, well, you know what? That might be a kind of a dangerous endeavor. I hope he gets out because I got to talk to him a bit, actually. I want to see if he can give me Larry from Legal's contact info because I don't know if you realized, Tim, but actually there's one of the podcasts out there is ripping us off.
Oh, really? Which one?
Well, let's see if I'll give you a hint on it. I listened to a clip and it kind of goes like,
well, I don't like wood. I like steel coasters. I like drop towers. And, Raiders.
Oh my God, Goliath! I can't believe you're so straight! So, is that the one?
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got it. They actually tried to use R-Frame dulcet tones.
Well, you know what? I wish Mike all the best of luck anyway, because he's definitely going to need it with those assholes.
Yeah, Mike, be careful, please. Don't turn around or pick up the soap.
So is there a Florida Coaster meetup? Florida Coaster Radio meetup, excuse me.
There needs to be one at some point. I know that EB is
Yes,
itching to get
there
down there.
does.
So, yeah. So I think that will be... That might come sooner than later because we're also talking about one right in Slater's backyard, too, possibly for next year. So
Damn fucking straight.
Yeah.
It's about time y'all motherfuckers come to Branson.
That's right.
Seriously. Here I am expected to drive 12 hours, 16 hours. What the fuck is this bullshit?
I've already planted the
Turning
idea.
into Randy Ray fucking Rayford. My Missouri's coming out because I'm getting tired. Do you know how much gas costs with my fucking Prius? Not much, but it's annoying.
Nothing. We did all the way down to from his house all the way down to Orlando on like $100.
Okay.
Nothing.
Closer to 150.
I
But
go to Vegas,
still.
it cost me $30 to go there and back. So, if you don't know, me and Slater are Prius pals, and we send each other pictures of our dirty Priuses.
It's not the size of the
great.
Prius, it's how you use it.
It's absolutely how you use it, and we use them very well.
Yeah,
we use them very, very well. Now, Mike, I do have to ask, obviously you've been doing the podcast and everything for a long time,
Yeah.
but I honestly don't know, how did you get into this hobby in the first place?
I've always, it's funny, I've always loved two things since I was a kid, like radio, like I was talking about, but ever since I was a little kid, I've always loved theme parks, and I've always loved rides, from as early as I can remember. I've seen, pictures in my parents' photo albums of me at, 3 years old on rides, and, my mom and dad always say, you would just run to them, you'd love them, so, I have always loved it. There's never been a time where I haven't loved going to theme parks.
When you were a little kid, you used to just wish that Walt Disney had molested you?
Yeah. Uncle Walt. That's why we call him Uncle Walt.
It's Uncle Walt, let me sit on your lap.
Yeah. And for real, when I was in 5th grade, you know how you sometimes have to do those biography reports where you show up dressed as somebody and you get up in front of the class and say, I'm Benjamin Franklin and I had a lightning bolt.
So you showed up with whiskey, a cigar, and pinching a secretary's ass.
Yeah, there you go with a big fake mustache on, and that's what I talked about.
I'm adorable but down low racist. So
what, Slater? Now I gotta ask you, what did you show up to as your book report?
A giant condom.
Yeah,
a giant condom
promoting safe sex. Yeah.
No, and why they were useless. Bareback it, motherfucker. No, don't
sex
really.
with
Please.
Slater is the
Use
most dangerous
condoms.
sex ever, but it's the best sex.
Oh boy. Just wait till I eat your manhole, honey. You have no idea what's coming.
That's another fan
Who knew a
fiction.
tongue could go that far up a butthole? I should
Do
have
you know
liked
how long
better.
my tongue is, sweetheart? I don't think you've seen. I'm going to send you a picture of this.
Whoa.
Oh shit!
Oh
you don't want to know the pictures we've sent to each other. So many.
It's pretty
awful,
bad.
awful things.
I'm really hoping my boyfriend doesn't go through my pictures with you and I.
Oh, God,
It's
right.
getting a little risque. I'm just saying.
You know what's really the most annoying thing for me? Is there are some pictures and videos of EB at water parks, and that motherfucker always wears a shirt.
He's one of those
you've been
never
watching.
nudes.
Yeah,
It must be a never nude.
Does he go down the slides with his shirt on? Is he one of those guys that argues with the ride op that's like, no, I need to keep my shirt on?
And Garrett, I know you'll appreciate this. He is a hairy motherfucker. Like, I can tell that he is a hairy motherfucker, and I know.
EB,
both you
I'm
and me-
sorry. I'm just so into it.
Seriously, EB, Jesus, choke on whatever you'll let us choke on. So
I didn't admit it when he came out for the Coaster Radio meetup because I was shy. But yeah,
I'm sure him and his wife would have thought that was great. Standing there next to his son and be like, "Hey, EB," would have been completely.
He should take it as a compliment. He's big in the gay community, and a lot of his listeners are gay, so he should be proud of that.
That's one thing I don't think EB realized is actually
how
how popular
he's got
he
a big
is
old
with his
gay
listeners.
listener base.
Because the gay listeners think he's hot as fuck. Okay.
The ones that have heard. See, that's the thing about podcasting. You kind of shape this image of that person in your head before you actually see him. And then you see him and you're like, whoa, wait. That's who's been saying this shit this whole time?
It's so true.
You know, the hilarious thing is, I don't even think he realizes that. Like, I think this would be a complete and utter shock to him if you said that. Yeah, I don't like, he has never mentioned that once. I don't even think that he knows, so.
He's
might
hot
be
to gay
best
men.
that he doesn't know, and we'll shock him with it when he comes on the show.
Well, he's going to listen to this episode, right? You'll make him listen to this, right?
Oh,
Mike?
yeah, he's going to have to. He's going to have to listen to it.
Absolutely. EB, you're hot to gay men. I'm sorry. I didn't want to tell you in person.
I know you guys were talking about having a meetup there in Slater's home at Silver Dollar City, but here's my question. Here's a suggestion from Ride This One to Coaster Radio. We might want to go to OA. I mean, we have an open date for that. We know what happened last time that a park opened. Why don't we, July 21st, we can get to OA. Let's go to Alabama. Do Coaster Radio meetup in Alabama.
Did OA reach out to you? Is this like a advertisement? I think it is. Is this a sponsored segment, Goliath?
I don't think so. I just want to go to a park that to me, it's pretty damn cool. A brand new freaking park.
It does look really cool.
I've never experienced that.
You know, there's an old adage, and it is, you build it and they will come. Well, here's the thing. Hard Rock Park proved that that's a fucking lie. And at this point, we better fucking go if we want the credits. That's all I'm saying.
It's already in a tourist destination. It's not a big one. But the spot down in Alabama is like their one little speck of shoreline that they have on the Gulf Coast. So people already visit that section of Alabama, even if it's not much. But maybe this will be a bigger draw because this is pretty impressive. OA down in Alabama.
It really is. You guys had them on, didn't you?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting just to kind of hear that not only is it this park, but also a big, like, retail and restaurant district. And they're also going to have, like, some sports fields and stuff. But there's a video on YouTube that somebody flew a drone over the entire complex. They just kind of went around in a big circle. And the park looks good. Like, it's all those Zamperla rides, which is interesting. So it's nothing but Zamperla rides. But, like,
right.
I don't know. It looks like a pretty park. Like, it's not themed. Like, they don't have different themed area. It's more themed like a town. And you just kind of have all these rides in the town. Yeah, that's what it is. And like the theme then carries on to the retail district and the restaurants, and they've got some bars there and stuff. So, it sounds pretty cool. The cool thing is that you can also go to the restaurants and bars and stuff without paying an admission fee. And parking, and parking is free too.
Oh,
so
nice.
you could go there and kind of check it out, and then if you look in through the gates and see you want to go in and get some rides, you can do that too. So
they're like, please, just show up, just come.
Yeah.
We won't charge you for that. Just buy some other shit, please.
Yeah. The interesting thing that I heard though was that they've got a version of the Coney Island Thunderbolt that they've basically it's like a sister ride there,
which It sounds great in theory, but
Yeah.
is that ride really a great ride in the long run?
That's what I've been wondering, because I have heard both. I've heard people who say it's a really fun ride, and then others who say, like, oh, well, it looks good, but it really isn't that great.
So it's one of those polarizing coasters you either love or hate.
Yeah.
Because it seems like it's a cool ride, but it gets rough real quick.
I think that is the thing. And the person that we were talking to from OA said, well, they've made some modifications to it. I think that's what she was kind of hinting at. That
They
maybe
gave
it's
us
not.
a great fucking deal.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
exactly.
really cheap.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the modification. They lowered the price, guys. They lowered the fucking price.
Hey, that's a modification that a lot of parks would listen to that modification. I mean, you know.
Hell yeah, they're all corporations. Come on,
Exactly.
America. I'm surprised it's not from China.
I was looking at the rides, and one of the rides is called Alabama Whamma.
Oh, God.
That is quite the name.
Looks like Mama Paula might be working in their parking lot.
I was gonna say I've seen that porno. I
There you
swear to God, I've seen that porno.
It was a guy and his sisters, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That's her other thing. The Kentucky Rumbler was her first one, but this is
Yes,
the new thing. This is the
absolutely.
Alabama version.
Nice. Nice.
That's great. I'm excited for OWA. I actually like the name. It's grown on me. I wasn't sure how I felt about it, but now it's starting to grow on me. I go out there every year, so I'm definitely going to be going out there here in 2018.
Do you really like? Do you go out to Alabama?
I go out to Gulf Shores every year.
I hope your
Every
luck
year, okay.
for this ride is better than the
True.
Boardwalk Bullet.
Yeah, you don't have a very good track record when it comes to showing up at the right time.
Yeah, you don't have.
I'm sorry to say.
You don't have good.
That's right.
Good track record with.
Track record. I'm not gonna say knee slapper, but that's a knee slapper.
Grown.
On absolutely every episode with a guest, we have to ask one question in particular, and I'm sure you know what I'm leading up to right now. Since you
I
listen
know.
to the show.
Yeah.
So, if you had to choose one ride that you could have a sexual encounter on, which ride would it be? Why that ride? And how? How? Most importantly, how would you pull it off?
Well, the shocking thing was when you guys came up with this segment, I laughed out loud in my car. I went, because I already had an answer to this from years ago. This is something that
like everyone does. That's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
I had thought about it already. So I always thought if I ever get a chance to come on ride this one, I won't even have to think about it. I'll just have it. And I've got this all worked out for you guys. So let me just lay it on you, and you can tell me how this works. First of all, you need a couple things. You need a $100 bill in your pocket, and you also need to go to the Magic Kingdom on one of those nights where it's open till like 3 a.m. You know, like, I don't know if you've ever been to the Magic Kingdom on one of those, like, extra magic nights where, like...
I haven't.
Yeah. Well, like, you can get there at, like, if you're there and it's, like, 2 a.m, like, nobody's in the park. It's empty, but they've got all the rides open. So you can kind of just, like, you know, have your... I remember riding the Dumbo ride once all by myself, like, just on it, and I thought it was, like, the weirdest experience. But Dumbo is not what I'm choosing. The ride that I believe...
exciting.
Yeah, It was, though, because the fountains were going and, like, nobody was on it. It was just me going around and around, and I was like...
Is that the term? A Zen ride?
That's what it felt like.
That's
yeah,
what it's called.
Just you on the ride,
If
yeah.
it's just you on a ride, it's called
Yes.
a Zen ride.
Yeah. It was very Zen-like, because, like, when else do you get to ride that ride with nobody else around, right? Like, nobody else on it? So weird. So, anyway, this is, I think maybe it might have been on that Zen ride where I came up with this concept, to where you head over into Tomorrowland and head to the Carousel of Progress. And now follow me on this. I think you guys are really gonna get this and feel that I'm on the right track.
Oh, we're hanging on your every word at this
because all of you listeners out there, like, listen to what Prince Mike Collins has to say about this, because this is where it's good.
Absolutely.
So you go up and you go there. You go up there with your, like, significant other, and you walk up to the line. And at this point, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's there? Nobody's getting in line for Carousel of Progress. They're all headed to Space Mountain. They're headed to, you know, Big Thunder Mountain. They're all going there. Carousel of Progress is empty except for the one lone dude who is running the ride. Now, you guys have all seen Carousel of Progress before, right? You know,
Yeah.
like, you go into the theater, you sit there, and the theater moves. the seats actually move, and you go from scene to scene to scene. So here's what you do. Now, I mentioned that $100 bill that's in your pocket. As you go into the theater, you usher your significant other in there first. You slip the dude a $100 handshake, and you just give him the nod because he knows what is about to go down. So he goes down to the front. He says, "Welcome to the Carousel of Progress. Just please remain seated." And here goes the ride. He presses the green button, and then he disappears because you've given him that $100 bill. He knows what's about to go down.
Oh, yeah.
So
this is the most detailed we've ever gotten, by the way. I love this.
This is what you get when you bring me on the show. This is what, all these others are like, amateurs when it compares to me. So now you are in the Carousel of Progress ride in your own theater alone with your loved one. And it's romantic and the lights dim and it's great. Now, this is where things get a little raunchy, though, because the guy comes on, he's like, "Welcome to the Carousel of Progress." That's when you lean over to your honey, you put your arm around him or her, whatever the case may be, and you say, "We're going to have a very special time here." And then that beautiful music starts up, and this is what I have found personally, that it is at the perfect speed for some good fucking. You know what I'm saying? It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Listen to that speed. That speed is what I'm talking about, right? That's shining at the end of every day. Now, if you were really into it, you could go double time on it. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Like, it's so great. So this is what I'm thinking, is that you were doing some serious fucking to that music. And what is it? It's like a minute that the dude sings, right? He sings it for a minute. Now, I'm not one. I'm always one with my lady. I like to waste, have a long time, really make it worth. But in this case, this is a special situation. So you've got a minute while that song goes on. You totally finish. And then you've got 7 minutes to sit and watch the show while you get ready for that next time. Because then 7 minutes and 15 seconds later, that dude starts it up again. And what are you going to do? Keep fucking. It's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Yes! Here it comes. You got to get into the speed part. Here it goes. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. See, it's perfect.
And tomorrow is just a dream away. Man has a dream, and that's the start. He follows his dream.
It's the perfect speed.
And when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me.
See what I'm saying? It is the perfect speed. And it gives you that great man, right at the end. And then, that's what the beauty of it, you got 7 minutes and 16 seconds to sit, get ready for the next one, and you can do that 4 times. And that's my Kama Sutra, the Coaster Sutra.
Okay, I'm gonna get serious for half a moment, but seriously, dude, why aren't you gay? Please, oh my god, I would marry you right the fuck now. I have not laughed that hard in months.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's how you do it. And I swear this is something I've thought about way before your question. I was like, that would be the greatest thing. Yeah. Am I not wrong that is the perfect speed if you just go to that song?
Absolutely.
I'm right. I know of what I speak. That's right.
If only Walt Disney knew of the perverted thoughts that he's inspired over the years.
He knew.
I swear to God,
He knew.
I've sat in that theater and I've laughed at that idea. Like as I'm riding it, I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm just like sitting there laughing to myself.
Isn't there's that 12-minute segment where there's absolutely no cameras at all, isn't there?
Oh, in Spaceship Earth, right?
In Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. I heard about that. I didn't know about that. That's
Disney. They've got to know, or either that, or they just don't give a fuck. Spend your money.
Actually,
fuck where you
go
want.
on YouTube. There are videos of people who, during that moment, hop out of their seats because of how it's built, and they jump from scene to scene. They literally go up into the scenes. It's absolutely fascinating. It's really, really cool. I would not suggest doing it because you want to get banned for life. That's
and we don't want to be the ones that suggested doing that, so don't fucking do that,
but
people.
I do suggest watching the videos.
Yes.
The videos are fucking fantastic.
Come to your own conclusions. Do what
But
you want. America.
We talked a lot about depravity, but you know what, Michael fucking Collins?
What's that?
We got some fucking beef.
Oh, really? A beef?
We got some fucking beef. We're the new kids on the block, and you're the geriatric nursing home motherfuckers over there in the corner.
That is true.
Your time is coming to an end. There can only be one reigning champion when it comes to Theme Park Podcast. And there's only one way to properly decide this in the world of Theme Park Podcast. Do you know what way that possibly could be?
I want to hear it. Lay it on me.
Garrett, tell him. How do we settle beefs here at RTO?
We settle them with rap battles.
Oh,
my friend.
That's right.
And
That's
C-Pain,
fucking right.
C-Pain has been talking some trash to us.
Yeah, he has been.
And
I've
so
heard
we've
it.
sent our hip-hop representative from the RTO podcast out. And we've got Loop Dog.
No. It's Loop Dog.
Loop Dog. Loop Dog's going to tell you how it is up here in fucking RTO. Ride this one.
He's
podcast.
straight out of the LBC now, isn't he?
Just like Snoop Dogg.
That's right. For sure.
I don't know how we came up with that name. I have no idea.
But hold on tight, motherfuckers out there in podcast land, because you're about to get the rap battle of the century. C-Pain versus Loop Dog!
Oh, damn, son. You know what that means. It's time for an RTO exclusive. Ride This One presents the Coaster Boy Rap Battle of the Century. The legendary C-Pain from Coaster Radio will go up against up-and-coming rapper Loop Dog from Ride This One. Home team advantage, Loop Dog. Start it off. Coast account stacking, restraints click clacking, climbing up your diamondback, straight Clint no backing, top thrill dragon, higher than Leviathan, faster than Behemoth, ripping up Canada's Wonderland. I know it's hard to understand, but I am clearly the sickest MC that ever did bless this land. You should go back to Busch Gardens. Gonna put C-Pain into much pain from this rap battle that I be starting. Damn, son, where'd you find this one? This must be an RTO exclusive.
C-Pain.
My name is C-Pain and I get respect. Talk shit about my podcast, I'll snap your GP neck. I don't trip over suckers lying on their backs. Let me break it down, bitch. Pass that chronic sack. I like tiki and all that shit. Get off my case, my shit is laced. You bitches ain't shit, you haven't had a hit. There's no way in the world you'll ever see EB's dick. Don't mean to be crass, but since you had to ask, Coaster Radio is gonna fuck you up the ass.
Damn, son, where'd you find this one? This must be an RTO exclusive. Loop Dog.
Watch the haters come up when I be out on vacation, cause they know that I be rolling up in all them coaster stations. From Raven, Weeby, Bolton to Verbolton out to Legoland. Whatever, man, they got credits. Gotta feed this fucking ego, man. I'm Cobra rolling, roller coaster coast, man. You know that I be boasting. Coaster counts in the thousands, lake compounds, and them Disney parks down south. You better shut your fucking mouth if you be dissing what I'm spouting. I'm winning, yeah, I'm winning. I'm winning. RTO killing. I'm winning. Yeah, dog, so thrilling. C-Pain on flashback, snapping fucking necks, man. Don't be mad, cause RTO better than in the loop. Don't be mad, cause we passing season pass for number 2. Don't be mad that Coaster Radio is almost through. It's gonna happen to you. C-Pain, what you gonna do?
Damn, son, where'd you find this one? C-Pain.
Sit down, son, and listen to the prince, cause I got rhymes designed to convince. Shut the fuck up and sit the fuck down, cause C-Pain is here about to go to town. Don't say another word, boy, you might get clipped. Your pasty white ass is about to get whipped. I know roller coasters and I know theme parks. I'm the headmaster, boy, the motherfucking shark. I've ridden more fucking rides than you. My coaster count makes your balls black and blue. Look, Gare Bear, I'm a motherfucking star. I've seen more ass than $1 rent a car. That's the way it goes when you got a big dick. I get lots of pussy doing magic tricks. Slater and you will never see my cock. There's a better chance of me riding Nighthawk. That coaster sucks and so do you. I'm done with you, bitch. That's it. I'm through.
C-Pain. Damn, son. Where'd you find this one?
Never know where for me. Fasting for days, homie. You wait.
Dog.
Hey, I remember Intamin drop tower power with no brakes. Vanessa coaster boy without Raven, cause I'm Tony's bae. Wanna put my dick on C-Pain's lips, but he don't play that way. EBM so needy to succeed, he hope he gave for pay. Coaster radio, just so old, just like a jet star. Ooh, that booty good, why don't you sit it in my coaster car? C-Pain just be lacking, I'm attacking with my Death Star. Luke, I'll just be dropping lines faster than them lap bars. Raven to the legend, legend to the voyage funk. Nagashima to Europa, out to Gronalund. If I quit your B&M, I'll still ride into Mun. Passes for the season, I'm the meanest coaster punk. My love stroke just went viral. Like Maverick running too hot, remove the spiral. Fury 325, we keep it on a high note. RTO gonna own it, so bitch be humble. Keep hands and sit down, seatbelts buckled. Lap bars down, enjoy your rumble. Don't forget down, to buy a pick. Don't fumble. Don't forget sit down. To buy a pick. See painful. Remain RTO is down. See pain stumble. Remain sit down. Be humble.
Damn, son. Where'd you find this one? C-Pain. This must be an RTO exclusive.
My dick, like a giga coaster, yo. Your dick is like a centimeter, bro. My dick, like I-305. Your dick ain't hardly alive. My dick was built to impress. Your dick, like Woodstock's Express. My dick makes the ladies scream. Your dick gives Slater wet dreams. My dick is very well known. Your dick ain't never been blown. My dick is ready to pounce. Your dick, like lake compounds. My dick goes on a pussy spree. Your dick goes on an SLC. My dick, big like Goliath. Your dick, so small it's terrifying. My dick gets the respect. Your dick sucks like Vortex. My dick makes girls happy. Your dick is like Rob Alvey's. My dick like Clint Novak. Your dick needs fucking Prozac. My dick belongs to Mike Collins. Your dick, it leaves people yawning.
Damn, son. Where'd you find this one? This must be an RTO exclusive.
Holy shit, that was one epic rap battle. So my question for you, the listeners, who won? Let us know. Who won?
Won.
Or, was it a tie and we got to have him back on? I mean, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
It's a hard decision, people.
Yeah. Right. That shit got nasty though. I didn't know it was gonna get quite that nasty. Fuck.
That was like nasty, but I love it. I love it.
That's
It was good
crazy.
stuff.
Actually,
Yeah.
being able to hear C-Pain
Yeah.
cuss and stuff, he was flipping out there.
Yeah.
Shit.
But that's awesome.
Yeah,
I've
C-Pain never gets
in
to
a
go.
million years expected C-Pain to be on our show. Like, that's fucking incredible.
There you go.
Yes, and I have many other generic opinions about things I haven't heard yet. So,
Mr. Editor, you're supposed to make it sound like we already heard it.
Oh, come on. They know how this shit works. They know we haven't done it yet.
No, they don't. Only like 20% of the listeners know that shit.
Well, then they're fucking stupid and don't deserve to listen to our show. But please keep listening because we like those numbers. We jack off to them every night. Oh, seriously.
Oh my god. I just print out every single iTunes review and I just plaster it on my wall and just go to town.
Like, Mike, do you seriously still do that? Do you listen to your, do you look at your ratings and just go, oh fuck, you just rub it all over your body and you're just like,
a three-knuckle
oh
shuffle,
my
he
God,
just shoves them right up
they
there.
like us. They really, really do.
That's it. Yeah, and you like paste them up. I love that. I love the thought of that. It's so good.
Seriously, I imagine that you take this paper with all of your ratings printed out, and then you've pasted Scarlett Johansson's face up in the corner, and you're just jacking off to it, yeah.
Yeah. With Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow playing in the background because that's just the perfect speed. Yeah, and it takes care of business.
See what you do is you lay the paper out on the couch, and then you put your pocket pussy in between the cushions. And then you just, enact your favorite fantasy.
Yeah.
Just like
Hey, those things work.
Oh, well, that sounds like from experience. So how many pocket pussies do you own? So... Because let's be honest,
I mean,
when you run a theme park podcast, pocket pussy's as good as it's gonna get when it comes to pussy. That's where we're really luck out, honestly, Garrett, you and me being gay, because there's so many gay coaster enthusiasts who think it's hot. But if you're straight, you're so fucked, because girls are like, ew, you're into what? No. I don't get it. Yeah. I don't get it. Ew.
That's what I love the story from a couple of weeks ago where you said like your app lit up when you got to Orlando.
Orlando's the gayest. Like, okay, Branson's gay as fuck, but Orlando's a whole other level. Like, holy shit.
It's like one of the gay hubs of the world at this point. Miami especially, you know?
But, like, did the phone just start overheating all of a sudden? Like you felt it in your pocket? Like, oh my God, it's melting down.
Ding.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
I thought I had an Android for a moment. I thought it was going to explode in my pocket. It was ridiculous.
And you guys,
needless to say,
you didn't get to experience a great big beautiful tomorrow while you're down there. Well, you're gonna get
straight people music.
Oh, it was great and big, and it was beautiful.
The reason we didn't go to Disney World is so you could find out about this whole great big beautiful tomorrow thing. That was the reason.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Now you know.
We know you have you love your Disney. We know you love, Carousel of Progress. What's your feeling? And I have a feeling.
Oh yeah.
You like the Tiki Room, right?
I do. It's funny. Like I'm crazy about like tiki bars and stuff like that. The Tiki Room is cool, but what I love even more is the tiki bar Trader Sam's at Disneyland. That's like my favorite like Disney tiki thing.
Trader Sam's is amazing. It's the staff that really makes that tiki bar. I love Trader Sam's out at the Disneyland Hotel.
I wouldn't know. I mean, it was a goal, and it didn't happen. That's fine. I tried my Dole Whip, and I would have rather shoved it up my ass than not go to the tiki bar. But sure, I'm real happy with how fucking Disney went, you motherfucker. I'm sorry.
But aren't you going?
I'm not angry.
Aren't you going to Disney World soon? Because then you could go to the tiki bar at the Polynesian.
It is true. It is true.
Yeah.
I am going soon, and I'm working on my anger issues, you fucking asshole! But I am going in February. We booked our trip.
Yeah, see?
It's going to be a good time.
See,
you act like Trader Sam's is going away sometime soon.
And I got to go to the Abracadabra, too. Like I have to hit that.
Oh, yes. That has to happen.
See, I haven't even been to that one yet, so you need to go check that out. Tell me what it's like.
Maybe that could be the next Coaster Radio meetup.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Shit, Coaster Radio is fucking going to be everywhere for the next meetup at this point.
Well, they already are on their world tour, so it wouldn't be so surprising.
Mike, how about you come have a Coaster Radio meetup in my bedroom? Hey, there you go. You can bring EB along.
Depends on how big of a Patreon supporter. He is an executive producer.
It's perfect. You know what? I tell you what. You'd be in the middle. I'd be in your front, and then EB would be in the back because you'd be comfortable because EB's been fucking you on that show for 10 years. So you're used to it already. So.
See, this is like a whole new world, man.
And all that fucking leads to him drinking a lot, isn't it?
See, it's like this is a whole new world of things that I have not experienced ever. So, yeah.
And may never.
It's fascinating.
Don't worry. We'll record it and send you a copy.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. It's for the fan fiction.
Mementos.
Yeah.
Right, of course. So you actually are, maybe Slater can give you some ideas when he goes, but you're actually building a tiki bar. Is that correct?
Yeah. So in this house that I'm in Alexandria, there's this real tiny space. It's like a loft that overlooks the living room in this townhouse.
Okay.
And so as we were in here and looking at it, we said, well, what are we going to do with this space? Like it's like not big enough to like, put furniture in or make it into an office or something. But as we stared at it, we said, it's kind of like a perfect spot for a bar of some kind, because there's room for people to sit. There's room, to put in like a bar and some things on the wall. And then, kind of looking at it, I said, well, we could make like a Trader Sam's, like East Coast version right here in this spot. And it's been like, I think like 6 months of kind of building it, but it's almost done. And like now I've got the lighting in and stuff and the bars there and things are on the wall. And what we did on the Coaster Radio show is ask people to kind of come up with ideas for a storyline or a backstory for it. So there's a whole backstory about a magician who was very popular in the 1930s, and he went missing on one of his world tours. And so people aren't sure if it was like a rival magician who sabotaged him or if it was some type of travel accident that left him stranded. But there's also rumors that he decided to stay in the South Pacific and open up his own bar where there would be magic and also magical elixirs and drinks and tiki drinks and stuff. So that's the theme of the bar, where there's actually like on the wall, there's like, magic posters, but also tiki things. And on the wall, one of my favorite things is something that a listener made. It's an actual aged letter from like 1930 that talks about this guy who's like, hey, I saw you perform in New York City. I thought it was really great. I think you should come over and talk with me because I'm learning. I have all of this information about something supernatural in the South Pacific, and I think you'd be interested. So it's kind of like a little bit of the backstory on the wall that you could sort of see, what happened to the guy.
That's really cool. I have to say, I hope his magic was better. The Coaster Radio magic show I saw.
Yeah, that was not. That was sort of a weak attempt at some magic. And
we're gonna put blame where blame is due. Fucking kids, kids fucking suck.
That's right.
You
It's
can't
the
say
kids.
that on Coaster Radio, but I fucking can. Adam Breckner, EB, your fucking kids ruined that shit, and yet made it more entertaining. So it was great.
I know, right?
And at the same time, I have to say, you say all of this shit about your tiki bar, and this is how I know I'm a fucking nerd. Every single word of that just made my dick hard. Like,
but see, that's what we're all into, right? We're all into that type of stuff at the parks, like theming.
Oh, yeah.
And like the fun thing is, like, I love Halloween, and I love I'm always bummed out at Halloween because you can decorate your house, but it's for one day, right? Like, that's it. But this is kind of cool.
1 day. That's 2 months.
Thank you. Yeah, that's true. Some people get to do that and stuff. But like for me, this is fun to like have something in the house that can like continue to be worked on and adding like fun story things. So when people come over, they can have a good time. So I think that'd be fun. Like maybe after the fall meetup, having some people over and checking it out, and we can have some tiki drinks.
And just
get
a
some
heads
laughs
up, Mike, if you don't win, like, Best in Show for your neighborhood's Christmas light thing this year, let us know. Us boys here at Ride This One will go take care of some old bitch down the road if we need to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll send some blow-up dolls over your way.
We'll make that shit happen.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Podcasters
I got
gotta
my ass
stick
kicked.
together, yo.
That's right. I
That's
got my ass
right.
kicked last year. No prize at all for all the stuff I did out there. That's amazing.
Bullshit.
I don't know.
Bullshit.
Do they actually have like a competition?
Yeah, they have a full competition in the neighborhood, and I thought I was like a shoo-in because I did all this like stuff outside and it looked really classy, but I didn't even get an honorable mention. It was shocking. I was like,
The old lady's like, oh, I think a faggot moved in down the street. Let's just pretend that he's not there. Oh, goodness.
That might have been it.
You know.
That might have been it. It might have been
Yeah.
somebody who's maybe she really did have the Republican haircut.
Maybe.
Like she had it for real.
Listen, we don't discriminate
The
against
let me see your manager
Republicans
haircut.
as long as you're not terrible. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. There you go. That's right.
You
That's
can
right.
be
That's
fiscally conservative. I'm a cheap bitch. Fuck. You know,
Oh, yes. I've been on a trip with that fucker.
I'm a cheap
He's
bitch.
as cheap as they
Bottled
come.
water. There's a drink from the toilet, you shit. I ain't buying water. You know, Goliath like, let's stay in a hotel. We can sleep in our car.
Is EB really as cheap as he sounds on the podcast?
Yeah.
'Cause,
You know what?
I went, when we went to Busch Gardens, Tampa, Slater brought his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and proceeded to eat them.
EB, I think, would also be the first to tell you that he always looks for ways to go to the park or go to any place as cheaply as he can. He has talked about like when the kids were little, they would hide soft drinks and sandwiches and all types of things in their diaper bag, someplace that the parks wouldn't check as he went in. He is also.
Is this why you guys started up Coaster Radio just so you could get the hookups and get into the parks.
Oh yeah,
for
that
free.
was one of the main reasons, really. Like, and I remember that's one of the reasons that I think EB has sticked with it, because like he's like, hey, wait, this is like free tickets into parks for me and stuff. But I think he would be the first to tell you, like, that is one of the things that he is happiest when a park gives us. I remember one day he was so happy when the park gave us a free glass of water. And he's like, oh, my God, free water. And he was drinking it, and he was so happy. So, I think he's so excited when that park will hand him something because of the podcast.
I won't tell him that they're legally obligated to do that, but sure.
I've never seen a happier guy in my life than when they gave him that big old glass of water at one of the parks.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
Big old smile on his face. They gave him a T-shirt once, and I thought he was gonna totally explode everywhere. It was just like it was amazing.
Shit.
So
what you're saying? If I keep sending EB free stuff, I might actually get to like fuck him. Like he might get that excited.
Just might work.
That is the way to his
the
heart.
The best way into a man's heart is with swag.
That's right.
Oh God.
I think that's the way.
Well, with all that swag, I mean, another park's been swagging it up. Fun Spot. We know about getting mind blown. Well, Fun Spot is at it again. They bought a new park. This park's about 3 hours from me. Fun Spot America bought Fun Junction USA, which is Georgia's largest family entertainment center.
Wow.
Yeah, they already have a coaster, so maybe Georgia might actually get a wooden coaster that doesn't suck ass.
Maybe.
And it's funny because I predicted this. I said a few episodes ago, I said that keep an eye on Fun Spot. With the way that they're expanding, I said it's a matter of time before Fun Spot starts buying other properties.
Yeah.
And I really think we're going to see them purchasing parks. Fun Spot has every intention of expanding, and I really think they're going to be a major contender. I'm actually really excited to see what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm looking right now at this Fun Junction USA. They've got a good mini golf there. They've got some pretty good attractions already. Imagine if they were able to bring like a major wooden roller coaster or something there. Wow.
That would be amazing. John Ari Jr., the CEO of Fun Spot America. I'm praying it's the guy, the super energetic guy, says his goal is to make this park the best in Georgia. Well, buddy,
wow.
you've got.
Wow, that's a big.
Let's just be honest. There's only 3 fucking parks in Georgia, including this one.
Yeah,
true. It's not a big title, but it's a title nonetheless.
And it sounds like a made-up one.
I don't know. Six Flags Over Georgia is quite a park. I mean, it's regularly considered the best of the Six Flags parks. Like, a lot of people hold that over Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain is quantity over quality.
Well,
okay,
so is
maybe
Cedar fucking Point. So is a lot of these places.
Maybe Six Flags Over Georgia is more quality in the chain.
And just quick tangent about quality, quantity over quality in Cedar Point. Seriously, name the good rides. Do it.
Crickets.
Name the good rides.
At Cedar Point?
Yeah.
Maverick.
There you go. You're done. There's one good fucking ride at that park unless you're Drew the Intern and you're still stuck in the 1990s jacking off to Magnum XL. So,
Magnum XL is an excellent coaster, and you hold your fucking tongue, sir.
Shut up, bitch.
It's amazing. Have you ridden it? No.
Shut up. That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I read blogs. I'm online. That makes me an expert. Fuck you. I can be president.
Okay. You come back to me and tell me what you think when you actually have ridden the damn
Calm
thing.
down, sir.
I know.
I'm going to ask you to calm down, sir.
Okay, shit. I'm sorry. Not really. But I am excited about this. I predicted this with Fun Spot. I'm really excited, though. I'm all game because I think they're serious. I predict that in 2018 you're going to see a lot of, work on paths, paint, bring it up to Fun Spot level in a way. And I really think 2019, I think they're going to add a new coaster. I feel like I'm putting that prediction in now, and I would be shocked, actually. I'd be more shocked if it didn't happen.
It's so funny. Fun Spot's become, it seems like that rinky-dink little park, but they're really starting to come up in the theme park world. Really kind of showing their own with Mind Blower going in, and they've always had the best wooden coaster in Florida. It's
That's
there's not much. Again, it's not a hard title to achieve, but they've achieved it. I think they're like kudos to Fun Spot. I'm a big fan of what they're doing. This is really interesting to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and if I lived in this area in Georgia, I'd be pretty excited knowing what their track record has been in Florida. You know, that they're going to take this park and really make it something special.
I mean, that's going to be an absolute amazing trip. Fun Junction USA is right down near the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So what you could do, Kenny, come on down to the track. We'll go to the NASCAR race, and then we'll go to Fun Spot.
Kenny, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Kenny, and I'm getting a hot flash. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. Ooh, that boy is so fucking sexy.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Jesus
I didn't mean to triggered. I understand. I triggered.
Seriously, if you want to trigger a faggot, talk about Kenny. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
They should be doing a pinup calendar every year. I'm just saying.
No,
in
only
the loop
Kenny.
pinup
It better
calendar.
be like Kenny 12 months of the year. That's
all it has to be.
Ooh, Jesus.
They want to fund that thing to the next level.
That tattooed cock of his. Shit, fuck. Oh, my God.
It could be like a calendar of spoons, like 12
Oh my
spoons,
God.
something like that. Like
the 12 spoons of Kenny.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
You know what? Actually, through Ride This One, can we please release a sexy coaster enthusiast calendar? Like, I wanted to do that.
That's been in the
like,
works.
Dan the T-shirt man can be like February. Mike, you can be
Kickstand
January.
Dan. Kickstand Dan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kickstand Dan.
It's not
You're
Dan the
right.
T-shirt
I
guy.
apologize. You know, I'll be March because that's my birthday.
I
we
called
got,
July.
all of us. Goliath, what month would you be, Goliath, though? I feel like you're in November. I want you there on, like, the Thanksgiving spread with a turkey leg just going at it.
Yeah, yes. Either that or he needs to dress up like Santa Claus.
That sounds awesome. I love that idea.
I want to make this happen. So we're going to officially announce our Patreon page. So everybody who's giving money to Coaster Radio, please fuck them and give money to us. And
Knock that shit
don't
off.
really do that. Please don't really do that. Just double down. Give us money and them money.
Well, if you start like offering a perk of a calendar like that, I think people would start bailing on Coaster Radio and heading to get that
fuck
calendar.
you guys then. Let's do it. Shit.
Yeah,
We're taking it all.
I could see that working. I'd actually probably do that myself. I'd be like, hey, hell with it. I'm getting that
Here's the
calendar.
problem, Mike. If you start giving money to our show, that like basically just equals out the money. Because I'm like
That
giving you all
cancels
money.
his.
And then it's like, let's fuck it. Let's just not give money to each other.
How about you guys just meet up and jerk each other off already? For God's
Oh my
sakes.
God. Can I? All right, Mike. Seriously, though, you keep teasing. Apparently, we've heard from this lady that you have a giant fucking cock. But my question, let's be honest. How big is your dick really, Mike? Come on now.
That's something that, like, only few know. Like, but, I don't think she was far off, but that, as a gentleman, I like keeping it,
Tucked
just,
in your sock?
in the... Yeah,
okay,
okay.
okay. No.
Like going down,
So
yeah.
what that means, since he's kind of like not wanting to say 6 inches, it's average, guys. That's what that means. Because if
6
it's
inches is
actually-
above average.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay,
very
let's
much.
be real. Let's be real.
Yeah, this is where it always gets. This is where it gets weird for me because I can tell the truth, but then it would be like, is he lying? That's the thing. So I don't want to get into all that.
I don't want you to get into that either. So it's all
Here's
good.
the thing: if you have a giant cock, no one believes you until they actually see it. It's just the fucking
Exactly, that's the thing. You could say it's like podcast listener numbers. Nobody believes you unless they actually
Right,
see it. So
exactly.
that's the thing. So no matter what you say, but,
I love that
yeah.
you. I love that
But
you
I-
dropped
you know-
that in there. It's like you're contacting parks. Like, really? No, seriously, guys. Huge fucking numbers. Like, prove it. Well, I don't have a picture on my phone right now.
That's exactly it. It's the same thing.
Publish it.
But look, I'll put a picture on my phone, and then next time we all meet up at a meetup, I'll be like, oh yeah, here, dude. So you
Oh,
can
wait
see
a second. Did you just say, wait, are we talking about your dick or podcast numbers? 'Cause
I was
I'm
gonna
getting a
say.
little excited right now. So
maybe both. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
You know what? I'm bringing a bottle of rum. I'll get y'all rummed up. Yeah. Shit, I don't even know.
I could jerk off to either of those pictures. I'm just saying.
There you go.
It doesn't take much to get us off here at Right This One. We're basically just
not at all
a swift breeze, basically.
I think like the second we have another woman,
I jizzed in my pants.
The second, I think Goliath just is praying for the day that we have another woman on this show, so, be a little bit less dick going on here. And he's really thankful when we have straight people on. But shit, we even convinced Kenny to do butt stuff. I mean, nobody is safe on our show.
Somehow Goliath hasn't agreed to the butt stuff, though. We keep trying.
No.
He's turning us down.
Exit only. He keeps repeating that over and over like a mantra. He's like curled up in the corner
He's going to get it tattooed
rocking,
as a tramp.
And he's just like, exit only, exit only, exit only.
Exit only, exit only, exit only.
Oh,
so
my
instead of us talking about our wet dreams, let's talk about Mike's wet dreams. So, Mike, if you could pick any park in the entire world, what would your dream park be to visit?
Oh, that's a good question. A lot of people get on me for this because I always say Six Flags Magic Mountain just because I've never been there, and I think that's a park that's kind of like Cedar Point. Like you have to at least visit once.
Yeah, you got to get disappointed somehow.
Yeah, I know, but everybody says once you go, like you hate it. You're like, oh my god, why did I build up this park in my mind?
You really don't build up much there.
Yeah, and isn't that funny though? Because I think that there are parks like on the East Coast that people feel like that, where you're like, oh well, don't get too excited about going here. But because it's so far away, you build it up in your mind as like a bigger thing. So, but I think for me, I would like to go. If there's any park I could visit, it would probably be Tokyo Disney Sea. I think I'd really like to visit that and check it out, just because I heard that it's just so amazing and so different than any of the stateside Disney parks.
Now that you're mentioning Tokyo Disney Sea, we've got to do our obligatory shout out to Ariel. I think that's the second one though. Slater's making me do this shout out, but I think we talked about her earlier in the show. But anyway, she's over at Tokyo Disney Sea. She was actually at Spa Land today. Holy shit, that place looks awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so awesome. And you know what? She sent me a really detailed review today of Nagashima Spa Land, and I'm going to read it to you right now. Okay. So she writes me, she says, I went to Spa Land today. Meh.
Yeah. Really?
That was it? That was the review?
Her review.
That does not... That sounds exactly like it, because that was her reaction to Dollywood.
That's my reaction. This is her reaction.
What? To the cinnamon bread? You could think that Dollywood is a subpar park and be wrong. That's fine, but you do not insult that cinnamon bread.
Unacceptable.
Thank you.
All right, Ariel.
Thank you.
Ariel, we have a beef. She needs to come on the show.
I do have her scheduled. She's coming on. She's super infamous at this point.
Seriously, I'm so excited to actually talk to her and meet her.
Get to call her a fucking cunt to her face. Because it's fucking time. No, not really. I love that.
See, I'll do that, and then she'll just make fun of my incy-teensy coaster count.
It's true.
And emasculate me on air.
She'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over how small your coaster dick is. So, actually, Garrett, she thinks you're really, really hot.
Really?
Yes, she does. She's she's like, seriously, why does he have to be gay? I'd fuck him. But then I remind her of the size of your coaster count, and she's like, oh, you're right.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. Never mind. I'm not interested.
In the same vein, I have to say, I have never met her.
Plus, what's your feeling on McDonald's?
Oh God! Oh God!
What?
Okay, that's a super inside joke, but
I have to ask. Okay,
my feelings on McDonald's.
You understand? I have to ask.
Yeah. How do you feel about
McDonald's?
specifically McDonald's parking lots around midnight?
Oh,
what? I'm so confused.
And straight sex in McDonald's parking lots at midnight. How do you feel about fucking her in a McDonald's parking lot at midnight?
Well, this turned into a different scenario than I had in my head.
I I was thinking about
I
Big
was
Macs.
too.
And I was like,
I was like, they're all right.
I was like,
whatever.
I was like, does she like Big Macs? Is that what we're talking about?
They've got decent breakfast.
Yeah, the shakes are good.
Okay, so we've established that he would like to, and yeah, fuck you, Ariel. We're moving on. And now a message from Grim Grinning Hosts. Well, at least the one who gave a fuck.
What's up, bitches? At the Ride This One podcast, it's Little Spoon Kenny from In the Loop and Grim Grinning Host podcasts. Just thought I'd send a message in regarding something that happened as I was listening to the end of last week's Ride This One podcast when I was the guest host. And, well, I got to the end of the episode, and lo and behold, somebody by the name of Evil Mike Collins sent in a message. Now, I don't know quite how to take this message. I mean, frankly, I was flattered that he even knew who the hell I was to begin with. But then he went as far as to throw me a compliment on my kid being born, so that was cool. But then he kind of threw me under the bus a bit for my nickname, which, look, Collins, I need to remind you, the story I told on the podcast last week, I did not give myself that nickname. That was a nickname that was given to me by the other schmucks over at In the Loop, who, again, if you don't know these guys, they're too busy fondling each other's butthole and trying to beat each other's coaster counts. They don't even know what the sexual act of spooning is. Those are the guys that gave me my nickname, so take it for what it is. Plus, we're talking about a guy who gave himself the name Prince Mike Collins. I mean, you gave yourself a royalty name. That's cool. We can let that slide. I mean, technically, I guess you are royalty in a way in the theme park podcasting world, so that is what it is. But that also does remind me of something else. Slater and Garrett, the amount of dick-sucking and sexual references you made throughout the episode last week, and really more towards the end, towards myself and Mike Collins. Let me just tell you guys something. The only way that my dick or Mike Collins' dick is getting anywhere near you two fools is if Prince Collins and I, at the next Coaster Radio meetup, and again, this is a big if, because Slater, we know how this went last time, when you claimed to have, quote, unquote, laryngitis. I mean, give me a break. That's a pretty obvious cover-up for you were sucking too much dick the night before and you just had too sore of a throat to show up. I mean, it's okay. We all get it. You're doing a pretty crap job of covering it up there. But again, if you guys ever show up to the next Coaster Radio meetup, Prince Mike Collins and I, we're going to be the ones stepping over you guys in the standby line. And as our dicks and balls rub across your forehead as we're stepping across you to get to the ride before you, that's the closest our junk is ever going to come to you. So there you go. And then the last thing I want to touch on, and I'll stop wasting everybody's time, is all you Coaster Radio fans out there have been following the saga of Mike Collins' Tiki Bar that he's recently opened up in his house. I mean, I'm happy for the guy. It's a lifelong dream that he's finally realizing. And even on the last episode I was listening to, he was even podcasting from his new Tiki Bar, so that's cool. Props to you, Collins, for fulfilling that dream. But I think what most listeners don't realize is this Tiki Bar is actually a gay bar. And it's nothing to do with Mike Collins' sexual persuasion. No. I mean, this podcasting legend has crushed more poon than the entire listenership of the Ride This One podcast combined. So that's not what I'm getting at. What I'm getting at is everybody who's familiar with Coaster Radio realizes they sell every segment on this show to advertisement. I mean, it's just a known fact. And Mike Collins' Tiki Bar is no different. He was looking to monetize it, and he sold the name of the bar to the Ride This One podcast guys. And obviously, I mean, it's no joke, it's no secret. The Ride This One podcast is the gayest podcast in all of theme park podcasting. So, technically, this is a gay tiki bar. And for those of you who are wondering, there's no way in hell Mike Collins just ended up on this show by chance. I mean, they wouldn't have landed Collins. This was a contractual obligation thing. And, they wanted to sponsor the bar, and part of that obligation was they had to have Collins on the podcast. So that's how all that went down. But anyway, I've wasted enough of everybody's time. I'm sure I've got diapers to go change, and my kid's probably screaming in the other room as I'm neglecting and just wasting time making another call into this podcast. So I'm going to get out of here. I will talk to you bitches later.
But we've established that you would like to go to Magic Mountain, which I'm getting to go to in January. Hooray.
Woo!
Yeah, because I'm really going out there for the coasters. No, I really am.
Bitch,
so,
you're not coming out for me at all.
I'm coming out there for your weed, man. I'm coming out there for your fucking weed. But, so we've discussed your favorite park, but what is your least favorite ride? What ride do you hate so fucking much? And there's a second part to this question, as I'm sure you know. Who would you have ride that ride for all eternity in Coaster Hell?
Oh, that's a good question. You know what the worst ride that and unfortunately I see it every year, but I have not been on it in like 10 years. There is a boomerang coaster at the boardwalk at Ocean City, Maryland.
Okay.
And it is the worst. Like, those are bad just in general, but this one is the worst one I've ever been on. It bangs your head. It shuffles back and forth. I mean, the greatest part about the ride is when it pulls you backwards, you get a beautiful view of the beach and the entire boardwalk, but then you pay for that view with, like, the worst fucking ride ever. It's like, it's awful. It's called the Tidal Wave, and it's there on the Ocean City boardwalk. If I had to pick somebody to ride that, I am really against anybody who bullies another person. And I'm not saying that I'm talking about bullies in general, from the bullies from my childhood all the way to people I see bullying today. I don't like bullies, man. I'm really against them. So like,
you're banned.
Yeah.
You're banned from our show.
I was gonna
You're
say, how the
banned.
fuck did you end up on here?
Yeah, no, I'm just like I'm against. So and I see them, like, I have like a lot of friends with kids and stuff, and I hear stories about like bullies at their schools, and that pisses me off so much. So I like, that's kind of my crusade lately, is to be like, you know, anti bullying. So that I would pick, like, you know, the local bully from your town, whoever you are out there, and put them on that ride. That's where I'm
So.
So, you know, we've already discussed your home park again. And one of the things, Slater and I are big-time foodies. Well, we're big, but we're big-time foodies. One of the things...
More cushion for the pushing.
That's right, especially if you're trying to get us onto a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But the big thing, my big question is, you know, what's amazing around your home park? If you wanted, you know, if you wanted to take us out on a nice evening, you know, Slater, you know, maybe get some airtime with Slater and Gare Bear. Where would you take us? What kind of amazing food experiences are there that you can take us
What
to?
place will guarantee that we'll drop onto our knees?
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, you guys are going to get to experience my home park if you come to the Coaster Radio meetup on October 13th, because we'll be at Busch Gardens. And
Absolutely.
that is the home of some fantastic food. In fact, this past week was the final weekend of the Food and Wine Festival at Busch Gardens. And if you're talking about a great experience to not only like see the park and experience the park, that's great, because it's like the best of what Epcot does, except just at your local park. And, you know, they've got all these food booths and stuff, and great, fantastic drinks at a lot of them. A lot of, like, frozen drinks and, you know, just other little things you can try. They have, like, scotch tastings that you can do. So no matter what you're into, like, they've got all of these great, like, kind of adult experiences, you know, where you can get some really good food and get some really good, pretty strong drinks in a lot of cases. I had this, like, from the Caribbean booth they had something called a Caribbean Sunset, and I drank that, and there was enough alcohol in it where I was kind of tipsy and like floating around the park, man. Now we're gonna go on the Alpine, guys. Let's get on it. So like I think that's what I would do. That would be great. But what's fantastic is no matter what time of year you go to Busch Gardens, there's always great food there, no matter what you're into. So, like, you can go to any of the countries, whether you want great pasta and stuff that's in Italy, or my favorite, there's in the sort of French Canada area, there's great, like, brisket and stuff and, like, barbecue. That's really fantastic. Like, that's the place to eat.
You
It's
had
so
me
good
at
there,
barbecue.
So,
You
but
know
no matter what you're
Mike,
into.
I like food, but I'm bored now. So tell us a bit about that time you ate Allison Hannigan's a pussy there on the set of How I Met Your Mother.
I remember. Do you want to know the most awkward thing about that, though? Is that, like, so when we showed up that day, she was pregnant. She was, like, so pregnant. She was, like, ready to burst. But she was wearing this extremely short skirt. I'll never forget it. She was wearing this, like, super short skirt, and, like, Evie and I are, like, trying to maintain eye contact with her, but she's got this short skirt, and so my eye keeps going down. Look, I'm like, holy shit, because she had, like, really nice legs, and she's, like, asking us questions about Disneyland, and I'm like, I'm not even focusing on that. I'm looking at your legs the whole time, but I feel weird because you're pregnant, and I don't know what to think about any of this. So, like, yeah, like, but she was hot. She was, like, really hot in person, just to, and I
So
never.
you have a pregnant fetish. Ah, well, that's good to know.
I don't know. Maybe I do, and I didn't realize it.
That was the eye-opening experience. The real question is, did you go home and masturbate about that later? Because that solidifies the fetish in.
I plead the fifth. But I may have gone on to whatever
So,
the Pornhub of that day was and looked it up. But yeah. But she was hot. She was hot. And maybe I need to ask myself a question about that, about if I do have a fetish with that. I'm not sure. Maybe.
I just let's be honest. I'm using you as a step stool to Neil Patrick Harris, because I have every intention of hopping on that dick someday. So what's his personal information? What give us that.
Yeah, what's
we
his
need that.
address?
Yeah,
I promise I'll
number?
edit it out.
Can you imagine if he was on this show, how good that would be, though? That would be good.
My God. Does he listen? Holy shit.
I don't know. Here's a question. Is he a twink? What is he? Because I'm trying to figure it all out. That's what he is?
Okay, he's actually right now in that in-between phase. He's actually a little too old to be a twink now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I guess. What would you call an old twink?
Oh, okay.
He's a twatty.
Twatty?
He's a twatty. So he's right there in between a twink and a daddy.
He's one of those people that doesn't age, though. So he looks like a twink, even though he's, 100 at this point? Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I wonder if he's the top in that relationship. What do you think? Do you think he's the top or the bottom of that relationship? Or do you think they're verse?
I would hope. In my fantasies, I think they're verse.
I think so.
Wait, what does that mean? You can switch?
Yeah.
Is that what that means? Okay,
a flip fuck, baby. That's the best way to do it.
Oh.
If you're modern, you flip fuck. You take it and you give it. That's the way it goes.
The best part of a gay relationship is that you get a little bit more variety when it comes to...
Yeah. Hey, Goliath.
Yeah.
Goliath, are you like me? Are you, like, learning every week?
Oh, every week I find out new stuff. It's amazing and shameful at the same time. I love it.
Did you have any idea that he would be this deep into the gay community by the end of this?
Oh, I had an idea.
The second Slater opened his mouth, he was like, yeah, okay.
Well, no, even before then, when we were chatting online, I had a feeling, he was going to, teach me new things.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's taught him many things.
I've learned lots of things.
My real question is, of everything that we've taught you, how many things has your wife actually agreed to try?
Right. I'm married. Right?
Right.
She's agreed to stay with him.
There we
That's
go.
Right.
About it.
Exactly. She's agreed to put up with my roller coaster riding and going to all these meetups and stuff.
So
She actually
Mike,
joined me
have
on the meetup.
She did. She was at Carowinds. Yes.
She was.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Slater.
Yeah, you missed out on that one.
I was sick. Mike, when you have friends for a long time, things happen.
Yeah.
So, have you seen EB's dick? I mean, be honest. Have you actually seen it? Have you been in a hotel room?
Every single conversation on this week's episode comes back to EB's dick.
Yeah,
I mean, it does every episode anyways.
Yeah.
It always
That's
gets
true,
mentioned
but I mean-
once.
Listen, there's two things that are on my bucket list. Well, actually, there's one main thing. The top of my bucket list is snort coke off of EB's dick. And right now, I haven't even seen it. And you know what? I'm already 31. I've got like 50 years maybe to achieve this.
Yeah.
So
you got to get moving.
I gotta get moving.
Yeah, yeah. You know what the hilarious thing about EB and I is that like we see each other literally twice a year. Like we don't we don't really hang out other than the show every week. So like even when he comes to DC to visit family, we don't get together and hang out. That's what like is kind of a funny thing. Like I remember hearing a story about Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller only see each other when they get on the stage every night, and then they go their separate ways and they do their own thing. That's how EB and I are. Like we'll trade emails about what we're going to do with the show, but then we really only interact during the show, and I think that's one of the reasons why things work so well. So I don't ever see him except for I see him as much as you see him, like at the meetups. So you know, your chance of seeing his dick is as strong as mine, I guess. Like we have exactly the same chance.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah. So I don't
All
know.
right.
But I think you were onto it, like sending him free T-shirts and stuff might be, you know, if there's any way.
That's the best way to get to his dick.
Yeah, I think so.
That's the best
yeah.
way.
That's what swag was
love
meant
that
for.
This show has basically turned into a show about sex offenders and rapists, and that this is my legacy.
Yep.
Are you going to try to get him on the show, though? I think that would be fascinating. That would be a fascinating episode.
You know, I am trying to get him on the show, but I'm trying to do it carefully because I feel like I imagine him like a small like fawn in the forest, easily scared away.
I think
you have to kind of lure him in. You put
Innocent.
your hands out with a lovely little treat, and as soon as he's there, you grab him and you pull him in, and you
as long as we can get the handcuffs on him, I think he'd be willing to do the show.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, I actually bet, for as super family friendly as I bet he's freaky in bed. You know what we should do? Fuck getting EB on here. Let's get his wife on here because that's where the dirty shit is. That's where the secrets are.
I've got an idea. Like I've really been envious of that B&M seat that you have in your house. You know, the test seat. What if I'm
selling it for $50,000? So
what if I make a trade and I deliver EB to your house and then you just give me the seat in trade? And then
worth the coaster seat.
Yeah.
Have you already done the Bill Cosbying, or do I have to do it?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that off air, but that seat is pretty good. I like that.
That seat is pretty. But here's the problem: if I have EB, I was planning on using it. So
combining all the fetishes, the coaster fetish,
Right.
the EB fetish. Yes.
Well,
EB
have to
is the
figure
coaster
that out.
fetish.
There you go.
Let's be real.
Poor EB. I mean, he's gonna listen to this episode and be like, "I seriously feel like I've been molested and has never even touched me."
He's like, "I'm gonna
quit." He's been molested in our dreams for a long time. So.
I look at it this way: the second you decide to say, "I'm gonna make a podcast," I'm gonna make a fucking podcast for 10 years. It's a fucking miracle that this shit didn't happen earlier.
That's true.
Because the second you decide to be a public figure, you're asking for it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You're asking for
So
it.
what have you guys ever had any? So have you guys ever had any like really weird fan interactions?
You know, it's been pretty good so far. Like you guys have seen at the meetups, like everybody who shows up is pretty normal, and they've got interacts well. Yeah, like there's nobody who's like totally like wacky or out there. We've had a couple times where we've been at the parks and like somebody stays like 15 feet away and is just staring. And we kind of look over, we're like, hey, I think that guy's staring. And he's just like staring and then like moves a little closer and then just keeps staring and is listening and then like moves a little closer. And then they're like, hey, are you the guys from that podcast? And it's like, it's weird when they say that podcast because then like, well, which one are you talking about? It could be in the loop for all we know.
Podcast?
Yeah. But so that's happened a few times.
Do I look like I have a beanie on? I mean,
yeah. Exactly. So like that's happened a few times, but most times it's pretty cool people. And then even like the creepy people, like once they know and they warm up a little bit, they're normal. But we haven't had anything that wacky yet. Like the weirdest thing that we've had is when we have interactions with the park PR people.
Okay.
They seem to get really weirded out still to this day by coaster enthusiast podcasts. Like they're not sure
Really?
what it's. Yeah, they are not sure what it's going to be like. It was really more in the beginning that they were kind of scared of us.
Right.
It's getting a little better, but there are still PR people that when we show up, they have that look of like fear. Like, what is this going to be?
See, that's interesting.
Really? Yeah.
Because so
yeah.
far, theme parks have loved us, except for Worlds of Fun. Worlds of Fun hates me. But that's a whole other story.
So, Mike, we always like to give our guests on this show a chance to ask us any questions if they have any. And so, my question to you is, what do you want to ask us?
Well, this is good because I'm actually, like, seriously a fan of the show. So it's so fun for me to be on the show.
Jesus,
and like,
you're
you know,
such a sick fuck. That's so fucking hot.
I really do. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, and I know I don't want to like kiss ass or anything like that, but I do enjoy the show. It's the one coaster podcast that I listen to religiously.
This
you know,
is
like
the one podcast where it's fine to kiss ass, suck ass, lick ass,
There you
whatever
go.
you want to ask.
all
Go
right.
for it.
There we go. So my question is, like, here you guys are. This is episode 15. What is the best part of this for you? But also, is there anything about this that's like a disappointment and you're like, oh, I want this to be better? Like, is there something about the experience that you're not liking so much?
Slater, do you want to take this one?
Okay, because I was trying to be polite because I talk a lot. You would not believe how much I edit myself out. Not at all. I edit everybody else out. I'm an egotistical maniac.
We know that. We know that. I have to. The interactions that I've had with listeners about how they're telling us how amazing our show is, I was like, whoa, we just did this to have fun. You know, we did this because it was an outlet, if you will, you know, like, you know, hearing you tell me that you love our show, it's just like, whoa, that's really cool. That was, I had no idea. I was just getting into, you know, yeah, let's go have fun and, you know, talk about roller coasters and make sex jokes. But, you know, it's been really cool how, you know, the reaction.
And that's so funny to me because whereas I am like, I'll be honest, I'm a very calculated person. I'm a planner. I have goals. I set goals and I attain my goals. I'm a manipulative, evil motherfucker who will take over the world.
Yes, he is.
It's been everything I've wanted, but not enough. I still plan to get more. You know, Mike, it's great that we've got here. I've used you as a ladder, but I'm going to leave you behind and move higher. I'm going to be like, I'll shit on Coaster Radio and all that it is. Fuck your 10 years. We are God. No, but seriously, we did this just to have fun, and it has been such a fucking blast. People have actually responded way better than I thought they would because I'm like, we're so dirty and so foul. I thought, okay, we'll have like 10 really fucked up people who listen, and that's it. And I sure as fuck did not expect you to be a fan, and I'm really glad that you are.
I love it because it's real. Like, the show's real, and it's like, you know, like great conversations, and it's interesting.
I hope it's not real, because if 90% of what we said was true, we would be in jail.
Right. The
regardless,
part about the perv following me, that was real.
That one was real. That guy is
the
real.
perv
That was
followed
probably
you?
the most
Oh,
awkward...
on Twitter. I thought you meant it like a park.
No, on Twitter.
I was at the park and he was following me all day. He looked just like Mike Collins.
So I'm actually curious to see what Garrett has, because, you know, he came in, episode 5, I think it was your first episode, as a guest.
I didn't expect anything of this. I was like, all right, I haven't done a podcast in a minute, so why not hop onto this one with
It's
these
fucked
guys?
up. I literally had you on because I'm like, he's cute. I'm going to try to fuck him. He's gay.
That was Slater's comments to me about having
That's Slater's comments about every guest.
Yeah,
we
but
have
I
on
meant
here.
it this time.
Well, I'm honored to be your wet dream, Slater.
And then I found out you had puffy nipples.
Oh. Is that true, or is that an inside joke?
It's
What's the deal
so
with
not
that?
true. I've seen his nipples.
true.
They're not that puffy. I was super disappointed.
That you have not seen my
Yes,
nipples.
you showed them to me.
You want me to turn on the video chat? I will
You
show
showed
They're
them to
puffy.
me when you showed me all your tattoos.
Save them for the calendar.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, we need to see those. We need to, since you're going to be July, you be like at a water park.
Oh, that's a good one. In a Speedo.
No. I want him in front of Green Lantern rubbing those puffy nipples.
Can we get you to find one of those smiley face Speedos?
I'll look for one. I'm sure I can find one. I'm sure I can.
Do you think they'd kick me out if I went in like a Borat suit?
Yeah, like one
Borat
of them.
swimsuit?
That's Six Flags. No, they're fine with that. They're thankful you're wearing anything. They're thankful you're there.
They'd post that on their Twitter
Right.
account.
They're like, oh, look, someone's here at our park having fun. Yay.
I like you very much.
I like you very much.
But yeah, I never really expected to join this podcast at the beginning. I was just expecting to be a guest, but I can't say I'm so happy that I was offered this position from you two, from Goliath and Slater here, because they're just
right. That's right.
it's
Keep
a hilarious
sucking
show.
that dick, boy.
I'm
Keep
honored
doing
to be part of it.
I was tired of doing it.
Right? I didn't expect it to be as much work as it is. It's a lot of fucking work to put on a podcast.
Yeah, they are.
And this is coming from someone that did a podcast before. It's still a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's so much work.
I'm kind of a perfectionist. I won't lie.
Kind of a perfectionist.
Well, we all are kind of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It works, though.
Oh, it does.
Make
It
work.
does. You have to be a little. You have to care about you have to care about what you're putting out there. That's kind of what we've discovered.
In a loop.
You know.
In a loop.
I'm gonna go get something to drink while you guys continue to talk.
Don't you fucking dare. So, do you have any other questions for us, Mike? Because that was a long answer. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, that's it. To me, this has been such a fun thing, not only like to get a chance to talk with you guys, but like learn about how you produce your show and stuff too, you know, kind of hearing the behind the scenes stuff. And, you know, I've enjoyed like the stuff we talked about on the air, but also off the air too. So it's just great. I'm excited. I'm so thank you so much for having me on. I've loved it.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on.
Before we go, we do, and normally we don't kind of end with like a news story, but we have to. Because this news story is so fucking big. And Mike, I'm sure you've heard about it. But Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
We're getting all PC up in this motherfucker. Apparently, since when did it not be okay to sell fucking women? Like, when did that stop being okay? I thought that was okay.
That was okay back when, get this, when pirates were around.
And this is right about pirates. So, Mike, this is your chance. What is your real opinion? Give your non-Coaster Radio opinion of this situation.
Yeah, well, actually, I even was posting this on Facebook and stuff because when I heard that this was happening and that they want to change it so that the big buxom with boobs, by the way, the booby pirate wench, they're going to make into she's not even a wench, she's just a wench. They're going to make her into a pirate, like selling off rum and stuff like that. The thing is, yeah, they're going to like basically make that scene of the auction. They're going to turn it into like the pirate woman trying to auction off things or sell off things that she's sold, I think, or that she's stolen. I think that's what they're going to do. Basically
so
making
it's
it
an equality move.
Yeah, they're going to make it so that the
so
pirate.
First they remove the pirates chasing the woman, and now they're removing the woman selling stuff. Or no, they're turning her into a shopkeeper. Is that correct?
Well, I think they're turning her into a pirate who has stolen a bunch of stuff and then is selling it off. That's what they're doing. So instead of her being sold to a pirate to be a wife,
right.
They're changing it around. So to me personally, like the ride is set in the 1700s where there are like nasty pirates and stuff, and it's it's like it's a funny scene because like there's the really hot pirate and they're all like kind of the big, big, huge women that the pirates don't want. They want the redhead. And so it's just kind of a funny, cute scene. Like it's not so like I heard people saying like, well, Disney shouldn't be promoting human trafficking. Well, in this case, it's not that at all. It's just like a funny, like tongue in cheek type thing. And I'm like somebody who's like can know like, okay, that's how it was in the 1700s.
And if you can't laugh at human trafficking, what can't you laugh at? Holy fucking shit. Human trafficking is hilarious.
But see, that's where it gets weird, where people start like saying like, oh, well, they shouldn't have a human trafficking scene. Well, that means you're just taking it too seriously. It's a theme park ride, and you know,
seriously,
I don't know. So like to me, I was just like, just leave it alone. Like there's certain rides that I like experiencing as they were meant to be originally. But then you've got the flip side of the argument, people saying, well, Disneyland isn't a museum. They have to keep updating things, and so this is what they're choosing to update. So I can get that argument too, but
I don't know. Maybe they can use their 40,000 worth of acres to add something new instead of changing their existing rides. Holy fucking shit, it's unnecessary, it's stupid, I don't agree with it, I don't like it, I'm not a PC person, it pisses me the fuck off, I haven't even fucking been there, fuck you, Goliath, I'm angry, okay?
You need to get there before they change it.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
I need to, I'm scared actually now when I go in
When is the
February,
date?
it's gonna be closed.
When is the change date for this?
Oh, that's a good question, because it's going to be at different times at different places, but the rehab dates are going to be lengthy. Like, I don't think they're just going to close it down for like a month. I think it's going to be for a while. So,
Shit, it's going to become a full-on advertisement for Pirates of the Caribbean 6, the movie that no one wanted.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Right.
Fucking
Well,
hell.
Disney is kind of just heading in the direction of Universal. They're like, IPs are where it's at.
Yeah.
But you know what,
It's
guys?
hot. Put it on a ride.
We can't really blame Disney for this. It's not really all Disney's fault, because you know what? I have some audio that got sent to us earlier today, and it's a little shocking, but we have our little, secret recorders in different theme park offices all around the world. We recently got one into the offices over there at Disney headquarters, and we found out what went into the decision for removing this from the Pirates of the Caribbean. So, you know what, guys? Take a listen to this.
So I told that new intern I'd not only take her out, I'd give her a free fast lane for Mr. Bones' wild ride.
Sir? Sir?
What is it, Helen? Can't you see I'm discussing business? Yes, Mr. Jones, those quarterlies are underperforming in 2 sectors.
Sir, it's your 2 o'clock. The people from Paddle?
Paddle? I told you not to have my Adam and Eve packages delivered to the office.
No, sir. The Pirate Anti-Defamation League. They're here to discuss the lawsuit.
Damn it all to hell. Call the president and tell him to cancel our tea time. The last thing I needed today was a bunch of liberal cocksuckers.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peterson. My name is Linda Henpeck. As you know, I'm here to discuss some issues that have been brought to our attention regarding one of your attractions. I've brought along the defendant in this case, Captain...
Captain Saltpeter's the name, and I have a right mind to fill your asshole with buckshot and light you out of one of me cannons.
Okay. Good afternoon to you both. So, I understand this is about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. Let's get this over with.
That's just the thing, sir. Our clients prefer the term seafaring entrepreneurs.
Excuse me?
Pirates is a dated term with negative historical connotations. We prefer seafaring entrepreneurs.
But your organization's name has the word pirates in it.
Sir, we'd prefer you didn't point out inconsistencies in language. We feel the negative connotations can make our client feel uneasy and out of place.
That's right, lad. I be as out of place as a 12-inch dildo in Mother Teresa's kumquat.
We also have an issue with the word Caribbean. Is it Caribbean or Caribbean? We feel that the ambiguity makes guests feel uncomfortable when asking for directions or expressing their opinion about the ride. We propose renaming the ride Seafaring Entrepreneurs of the Greater and Lesser Antilles.
That's out of the question. This ride has been a Disney mainstay for generations.
Generations of hate and misogyny. You see, there are depictions in your ride that we feel unfairly characterize our seafaring entrepreneurial friends as victimizers of women. For example, in one particularly disturbing scene, women are bound in ropes and auctioned off as slaves to the highest bidder.
That's right. We never paid for a goddamn one of them. We just pull them, grab them, tie them up, toss them down the hatch, and roger the little tarts till our cocks were singing 16 barrels of piss on your bum.
Sir, I guess what we're trying to say is that by continuing to display this attraction in its current form, you're opening the Disney Corporation to numerous similar lawsuits. We feel that it would be in both parties' best interest to settle this in a mutually agreeable manner.
What this wench is trying to say is that split your neck to navel I will and hang your guts out to feed the crocodiles. Then I'll take a big shite down that cake hole you call a mouth and run your arse up the flagpole so your floppy old pecker can weave in the breeze and tell me where the wind be coming from.
Okay, we'll definitely take that into consideration. After all, I guess we've changed the ride before. Johnny Depp did do that nipple thing with his tongue in exchange for an animatronic, so this is not unprecedented. Can we keep the redhead? She's a fan favorite.
I had a ginger gal once. Crotch looked like a fucking snapdragon.
Yes, of course, provided she is displayed in a role more empowering of women. Perhaps she too could be a seafaring entrepreneur.
Yeah. Wait, excuse me, is he urinating in the potted plant over there?
Let loose the rum.
Mr. Peterson, if we may get back to the business at hand. Now then, as you know, the Disney Corporation has other seafaring entrepreneurs under its management, namely one Captain Hook, who we do feel reinforces negative stereotypes against the handicapped.
Now, Mrs. Whatever your name is, let's be reasonable.
Yo-ho, a murderer's life for me. I'll cut your balls off and bugger your mom. Drink up, me hearties, yo-ho.
You know what? I've always thought the same thing. We'll be getting Mr. Hook a proper prosthesis and putting our workers in sensitivity training right away.
Excellent. Well, I think this has been a very productive meeting, Mr. Peterson.
Can you make him stop wagging his dick at me while making a cutting throat gesture?
Certainly. Good afternoon, Mr. Peterson. Come along, Mr. Saltpeter.
You're not the boss of me, you tow-headed wench. Keep your knickers on.
Anything I can do for you, Mr. Peterson?
White House, line 1. I think I found the guy to write the Trump speech for the Hall of Presidents.
Well, now, guys, I mean, now that we've heard that, I feel like I kind of have to, think about this in a different light. I guess I can't blame Disney completely.
It wasn't always Disney.
I mean, shit, if a pirate was threatening to do that shit to me, unless it was EB and an eye patch, I'd be worried.
Pirate EB. Yeah, that turned me right around. Yeah, there you go.
Suck my cock, matey.
I just got a
what
visual.
What you gonna do with that peg leg?
I just got a visual of that. That's so funny.
God. Ooh, Jesus.
You've got to get him on this show. I want to hear that episode.
Well, you know what? You convince him to. We'll have him on. Absolutely.
All right, there we go.
And I'll be shocked.
You're our connection.
Just tell him every other relevant theme park podcaster is wanting to get on our show.
That's right. Yeah.
Shit, even Clint Novak said he wants to come on our show.
Oh,
that told me the other day.
Hey there, guys, from Ride This One podcast. Clint Novak here. Just wanted to say, got your invite. Appreciate it, but no thanks. Not really interested in coming on the show. I mean, I would really come up with some good excuses. I'm busy working, or, I have a podcast of my own to run. We know that's not true, though. I'm just really not interested. I mean, the show is horrible. The fact that Drew the Intern and Little Spoon actually did the show is disgusting to me. And the fact that you guys only invite me after them even upsets me more. But anyways, thanks, but no thanks.
See, you were getting them all. So yeah, you got
taking over.
Yeah.
Taking over. Shit, who knew we'd be the #1 theme park podcast? That's right, I'm claiming it.
You should start just saying that at the beginning.
I'm going to start saying we're the #1 theme park podcast. Y'all want to be the oldest, you geriatric fucks. That's fine. We're #1. We're #1.
Yeah, just say it. That's what I found is you can say anything you want and nobody will question it. Just say it.
I learned that from Six Flags.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You just claim any title you fucking want.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to question it?
Yeah.
So, Mike, we really thank you for coming on the show and having a drink in the middle of the day with us, because, can't do this show.
Middle of the day? It is 9 a.m, thank you.
Exactly. And he is ripped and ready to go.
Mike's been quite the sport. We told him it's a 2-hour process. We're about to hit hour 4. I shit you not. This is the longest.
He's been a trooper.
He's been a trooper, and I am legitimately thankful. And we are legitimately fans. The honest truth is, if it wasn't for podcasts like Coaster Radio and In the Loop, the guys who started it all, none of this would exist. We wouldn't be here. That's a fucking lie. Someone else would have thought about it. But you know what?
Yeah.
You all did it first. And you know
Yes.
what? Thank you for doing it first.
Yes, you guys inspired so much. I mean, just besides our show, I know plenty of people that link back to you for the inspiration for just their coaster obsession.
That's
you're
great.
not just inspiring shows, you're inspiring people to go out there. It's a much bigger influence than I think you realize. It's just, you guys are so important.
This is the one thing I want a truly honest answer from you. You're always so humble, nice. Oh, thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Oh, sweet. Please, let your ego show. Be like, I know. You're welcome. I've been doing this for 10 years. It's about time. It's okay. This is the one time you can, man.
I have to be completely honest with you though, because like these are such great things to hear, and it makes me like happy and proud of that. But I am saying this. I am not like being self-deprecating or anything. I'm just some like asshole with a microphone and a computer. And EB and I sit there. We always say that every week. We're like, who the fuck are we? We're just like two dudes who happen to know a little bit about putting together a radio show, and just by accident chose this topic. So like, it's so awesome that like all of this has happened. And but my favorite part of it is like the friendships that have come out of this. And I love that between all of the podcasts, between like our two shows and In the Loop, like nobody's a dick, right? Like everybody's really nice, and nobody's like, well, our show beats yours and your show does this. Nobody does any of that. And that's what I love about it, where they're
excuse me.
Yeah.
We're the number one podcast, sir.
Seriously,
what are you talking
you need to
about?
start saying
hold
that.
your
Yeah.
tongue.
Yeah, you need to
Hold your tongue.
have Tom redo the open.
And it really is a shame that you all aren't gay, because y'all would get so much dick. Your
Yeah.
lives, like there's no way you wouldn't have a million STDs, the amount of dick that you would have got by now.
You're swimming in it, and you have no idea.
See?
It's just,
no idea.
It's just, that's the irony of my life.
That's what they were telling me as well. I had no idea before, Slater's like, you realize how much dick you would get if you were gay?
I know.
Yeah. Really?
Isn't that like the...
Everybody loves a jolly ginger giant.
It's the sad, sad irony of it all, right? Like, yeah, it's just, just one of those things. But it's nice to know.
And honestly,
it's good.
If there were more women within the hobby, I think it'd be swimming in pussy. But the fact is, there's not. And I think that's I think a goal is I think there need to be more women in this hobby.
Yeah.
It's just that women don't give a fuck.
Well, that's true. And the women who do show up to the meetups are all married. And, like, it's just,
Well, that's because guys fucking snatch them up. They're like, oh, you like coasters and you're single? Oh, shit, well, you're mine
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
But you know what? It's going to be harder now that apparently women aren't for sale, so we can't fucking buy them
Exactly.
anymore.
See?
So,
Just, life just gets harder and harder for the...
harder and harder. Fucking liberals
Yeah.
destroying everything. I don't even know what I am. Liberal, Republican.
social justice warriors.
Social justice warrior.
Well, one
But-
thing I've learned is that I need to go talk to the guy who cuts my hair. I'm going to be like, hey, man, I don't want this Republican haircut anymore.
Just don't get your hair frosted.
Mullet hawk.
Yeah, there we go.
Next time.
Yeah.
It's got to be a mohawk, 3 different colors.
Everything else in the 90s is coming back. Let's bring frosted tips back.
There we go. Oh, yeah, I won't do that.
Oh my
But I'm going to
God.
figure it out.
Please get frosted tips. Please.
God.
Bring the 90s back.
Yeah.
And
Be
when
that
you're
guy.
done, would you frost my tips too?
I just thought about something, too. The guy who cuts my hair is gay. Why is he, like, leaving it like this? Shouldn't I, like, go to him and say, hey, like...
He probably thinks you're a senator.
Yeah, maybe he does. I gotta talk with him and say, hey, man, what are you doing? You gotta help me out.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, make me, like, the hottest motherfucker out
That's what I'm going to tell him. I'm going to say, like, I'm going to let you do what you want this month. Go ahead and go for it, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Wait a second. I have to ask. So you've been on our show. When are you going to be brave enough to let us come on your show?
That needs to happen. Maybe, you know what I was thinking? We need to do, like, what would be a good, like, crossover reason? Like, I think, like, to have you guys all come on and maybe even do an episode. Like, we'll
We've
be
been
there.
talking about a game show for a long time.
Yeah.
You
Like a
want to
trivia
talk about? You'll
shit.
be editing that episode for a year.
That would be the only problem, because as soon as you would say a cuss word, like, I'd start getting like 30 emails. Yeah.
You here's the thing, Mike, is I grew up in a pastor's home, so if there's someone who knows how to censor themselves in a situation,
There we go.
It's me. Surprisingly, I'm great with kids.
See? No, I think that would be a great idea. We should do that. We should come up with some type of fun game show. You know what I was thinking would be fun? And this is what, like, seriously, remember that old show, The Match Game, where they had like a panel of people?
Yeah.
And then you ask a question and everybody writes down an answer. And then you try to guess what each person's answer would be. I think that would be a perfect.
Oh, yeah. That would be
and then it would be kind of fun. Yeah, but like each answer, it can be dirty. Like you can come up with like double entendres and stuff. I think that's what we need to do.
Right,
We'll just
because
have
we
that
can push it a little bit with Coaster Radio. I mean, we've seen the episodes, the random episodes that are labeled explicit. So, you can push it a little bit.
Yeah. So I think that's what we should do. That you guys should come on and we'll do like match game and have like the whole panel, and we'll get Dan the kickstand man and all that stuff on there too. We'll do a full
78 match game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're gonna make it happen.
All right, we're gonna do that.
That's gonna be amazing.
We're gonna do that before this season of Coaster Radio is done. So we might do that in the next couple weeks.
Sounds
I'm
good.
holding you to that, and I'm a stubborn bitch, so trust me, I will.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna set that up this week. I'm gonna schedule you guys so we do it.
Ooh,
Great.
this is gonna be fun.
That'll be a good crossover.
Okay.
Excited.
Yay.
But you know what? Again, we've said it a million times. Thank you so much for coming on. We really do mean it.
Before we end, we need your final thoughts.
Oh yeah.
You're right.
I gotta say, like overall, man, like I just love like the idea of a theme park. This is my final thought. I was thinking about it when I was walking around Busch Gardens and like it was getting dark and like the lights were coming on. Like, is there anything better than a theme park in the summer when you're there just hanging out with your friends and stuff? That's like the greatest thing, right? And I think that's why we've chosen this topic to do podcasts about, because it makes you happy. And like there's enough shit going on in the world right now, like that just like brings you down and makes you sad. But man, when you're in that park for however long you're there, you kind of forget about that for a while. And that's why we love it. That's why we do this type of thing. And that's kind of that's what I've been thinking about lately.
I think the honest truth is most enthusiasts, if you dive deep down, they had terrible childhoods. So we use theme parks to relive the childhood we never had.
Maybe.
Yay!
Reminds me of going back to Neverland Ranch.
There we go.
You know what? That's the one call-in ride review that I keep intending to do. I keep intending to send in a trip report from the Neverland Ranch saying I rode the roller coaster out there.
I've ridden the swing ride.
There's a scary ghost. Oh, goodness. But thank you so much. It's been fucking amazing. I'm sure we'll have you on again.
Yeah.
And honestly, seriously, open door, back end, front end, whatever you need, sir.
Whenever you want, just give us a call.
There we go.
Give us a call.
Whatever
send us photos.
you want.
You got my phone number? Shit. You can send me pictures. I promise I'll delete them. Shit, what's your Snapchat? We'll get on
There we
Snapchat.
go.
We'll
Yeah,
get
I might
on
be up in my tiki bar and like be like, hey, Slater needs a picture. Let me send it. And I'll be like,
fucking right.
Yeah.
You laugh at everything, but if you actually sent me a picture of your dick, I'd be the happiest motherfucker on the face of this earth.
God.
Do you know what? I would only send it to one person, and that's Garrett. Because if he found out I had it, he would seriously fly to Missouri and kill me if I didn't.
The best part is I know I'd get an honest review. Like you'd actually say like, oh, I like that. Or you'd be like, oh, I don't know. But like, I know I'd get a true review, which is what
you already know exactly what you get back from him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just exclamation points.
There we go.
A video.
It's just like, oh shit. I'd literally actually be a little concerned because I'd be like, you need to go to a doctor. You probably have alcohol poisoning considering how much booze you've obviously drank.
Yeah, you're like, go to the emergency room right now.
Go right now.
Just don't stumble out of the tiki hut and fall.
There we go. Yeah, because it's up there on the second floor and right over a balcony, so I got to be careful there.
But yes, convince EB to come on our show. Thank you so much. And you know what?
Thank you.
As we say to most people, get the fuck off of our show. This is about us. Fuck you.
All right. Fuck you, motherfuckers.
Fuck you.
Bye.
You.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye. Holy shit. I can't believe we just had Mike fucking Collins on our show. That blows my mind.
That's crazy.
Oh, God, that dick felt so good.
Oh, man. He sure knows how to make an Oreo sandwich out of a man.
Just make sure you check your blinds.
Oh, God. Oh, no. You know what, though? It was really nice. We made it through episode 15.
We did.
Congratulations, everybody.
Absolutely.
I can't believe it. But you know what? This is not the end. We have big plans.
And Slater's liver is still
this is just the
alive. So,
beginning.
hey, we've got that.
I'm realizing I literally drank a half a bottle of bourbon.
Damn.
Yes.
Damn.
Damn.
I smoked 2 spliffs and took 2 shots of tequila during the show. The tax,
And Goliath, what did you do?
I tried to keep you fuckers on task.
And you masturbated 3
You
times.
failed, sir. That was so tangent heavy. Raiders.
That was the biggest tangent of all time. That whole episode was just one giant tangent.
Pretty much.
But that was one sexy, fun tangent.
It really
I
was.
enjoyed myself.
Wet dreams for days.
You know who else enjoyed it? Our listeners out there. I know y'all liked it. That was fun.
It really was. It was exciting.
So thank you to you guys for hanging around.
Yeah, for this very long episode. I think it's going to be our first episode to top 3 hours, or at least 10
Whoa.
hours.
You better edit this shit down.
I'm going to try. We'll see. We'll find out what that final number is. But
Yeah,
you know,
there's too much good stuff.
We got to get out of here.
We do.
So, we're going to do our normal shit. You know exactly what we're going to do, guys. So, obviously, if you want to talk to us here at Ride This One, which we definitely encourage, hit us up on Twitter. Of course, you can find me at RTO Slater. Goliath, where can they find you?
They can find me at RTO Goliath on the Twitter. And what about you, Gare Bear?
And they can find me at RTO Garebear on Twitter. And if you want to follow the show itself, we also have at Ride This One on Twitter.
Absolutely.
So give us a follow.
And Goliath, don't we have a phone number people can call too?
Yes, we do. It's 26-RIDE-THIS or 267-433-8447. Send us a text or leave us a voicemail.
And if you didn't catch that, it's in the episode description, people. Call us.
Seriously.
Please.
Seriously. if Mike Collins, random fuck buddies at Carowin, can figure out what our phone number is, then you all motherfuckers can too.
That's right.
And of course, here at Ride This One, we are all about dying media. Gare Bear, would you tell them about our dying media?
Of course, you could find us at facebook.com/ridethisone, or you can send us an email at ridethisonePodcast@gmail.com.
And who doesn't love Facebook, that dead media? But you know what? We're not completely dead media. In fact, we're on the cutting edge. Well, at least one of us is. Our tech guy and dulcet tone master, Goliath, is on Live Me.
Yes, join me. We have a lot of craziness on Live Me. I am Coaster Fleek.
So have you been broadcasting this whole episode on there?
I tried to, and it stopped. The broadcast stopped, so eventually I'll get it figured out how to do it right.
We promise you guys we are going to figure that out, and eventually you're going to be able to hang out with us as you record, and you're going to realize that we really sound like shit before we're editing.
Exactly. You'll see. You'll get to experience all 44 hours and 11 minutes of Ride This One podcast recording.
One more thing that we can steal from Coaster Radio. We're stealing the live look-in, too.
But we're using new media. We're not using fucking YouTube.
Damn straight. But guys, it's been great spending time with you. It's been great spending time with Mike Collins. But as is tradition, we let Mike Collins give us his final thoughts. But what about us? The show's really about us. So you know what, Garrett? We'll start with you. What are your final thoughts for this very special episode?
My obsession with theme park podcasts started with Coaster Radio, and I cannot believe that we're actually at the point where the host not only listens to our show, but actually wanted to come on the show. So it's just super sappy. I can't believe it. Thank you so much, Mike.
And how about you, Goliath? How are you feeling? What are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts is, hey, Mike, you make me go. You make me buy fucking moonshine. And then you complain that you have a sore throat. I trafficked moonshine across state lines for you, sir. And you couldn't even pick it up. See if I do that again. What about your final thoughts, Slater?
Well, all I'm gonna say is this episode with Mike has got me so worked up, I'm rocking a game.
That's what happens when Mike comes around.
Oh, Jesus. Stick it in me, motherfucker.
We'll work on them Kegels, motherfucker, and we'll...
Clinch and release. Clinch and release. But thank you guys so much. Episode 15, right? This one is in the books. We're going to be taking next week off. 3 episodes a month, motherfuckers. I mean, come on. We got to do something else. So next week off, then we are going to be back. We're going to be back with Dwayne.
The Rock?
And we're going to be talking about Goliath.
And no, not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but let me tell you, this guy is jacked about as much as Dwayne The Rock Johnson is. This guy legit, he is, like, I would not want to get in a fight with this guy. He's legit fucking bodybuilder. But, nice guy. We're going to have a lot of fun talking to him, talking about a lot of the awesome stuff he is doing. But we'll see you all in 2 weeks. And thank you for listening to the original Theme Park Podcast. Ride this one, motherfuckers!
Ride this one, motherfuckers.
Ride this one, motherfuckers. Duh.
Ride This One Podcast. If you want family friendly, go listen to Coaster fucking Radio.
Well, that's embarrassing.